today we finally, yes, finally, and I'm so sorry it took so long, we finally have another episode of The Seas of Vodari, and I am your master of the seas, John Wolfenstein, the DM extraordinaire. Before we get started, I do have one thing I would like to show off, because I am a huge show-off. Alexa, daylight.
Okay.
And I said, let the light be brighter.
God damn it.
That is a gift from my brother David, as well as that smart bulb that's in my new light. So I can also dim it.
I believe that was because your phone wasn't fucking going off when that Tyrannia Dragon is like, we gotta get Brent and Alexa.
I mean, it's very possible.
I believe
But,
it.
Before we begin our session today, a couple of announcements and a couple of shillings. So first things first, of course, we're back with Tri-Peak Goods, and if you will look to the first box on the screen, he has it! The giant stackable egg cartons! They're so cool!
Jesus Christ!
Hold up, can I see? Can you stream it?
No, I'm already streaming it on Twitch.
I can't do both at the same time. I'm only on my phone.
Well,
Well,
it's on
sex the fuck, don't it?
Well, it'll be
So,
on Twitch and it'll be on YouTube later, so calm down.
Trust our word, it big.
It's
What?
giant.
So what you're saying is we're sponsored by eggs again?
Yeah.
I don't mind being sponsored by eggs, any kind of eggs. But, so our amazing
It's no
friend,
yoke.
the Beard,
The bearded bard.
yep, the Bearded Bard.
He does some awesome ass shit. It's no yoke.
He really does,
Bruh.
and it's
Someone say-
fantastic.
Insert excellent joke.
Bruh.
Excellent.
Exceptional.
Egg exceptional.
Excitement.
Egg extravaganza.
Damn right. We got a dozen of these, don't worry.
I'ma let you finish.
Look, you guys are trying to crack me up, but it ain't working.
Yeah, we're running out of time.
It's getting
Our
harder
pun-
and harder to make jokes here.
Our egg pun section has ended. Please continue.
But
Little
anyway, the
scrambled.
Bearded Bard on TikTok is still making fantastic goodies for everybody to use. He's still offering his services as a dungeon master, and again, he's just a great guy, and I can hardly, waste the support going to someone who, has earned it. The other announcement is I have more games available. So if you like my DMing style, and if you want to see me a little bit more in your weekly life, then I have some paid games just for you. So the first of which is, for those of you who are huge Critical Role fans, I will be doing another Explorer's Guide to Wildmount campaign. I will not be starting off with Frozen Sick this time. I will be starting off with one of the other two adventures. Very likely we're going to port Damali so we can all be swashbucklers in the world of Critical Role, which I am
Nice.
super excited about.
Well,
I am looking
yeah.
for 5 amazing players. Here
Hi.
is the link, and here is the
By the power of the
application.
revelry.
Here's the application post. So please go ahead and reply and sign up if it's something that tickles your fancy. It will be every Wednesday at 11 p.m. So a couple hours after our stream. It'll run 11 to 2. 11, 12, 1, 2. No? 12, 1, 2. I can do math and I can count properly.
You're doing
3-hour
your best.
sessions. It is a $12 per person per session game, so you pay to play. If you don't pay, you don't play. But of course, in your application, name, age, preferred class, years playing RPGs, specifically D&D if you would like to put that, and knowledge or lack thereof of Critical Role. I find that the easiest way, just to kind of gauge where everybody is in the setting, so I know how much to highlight and how much to not highlight. Basically, the things that everybody knows, I just kind of jump over.
What do you know about Critical Role? It exists.
Well, that's fair enough. Hey, that's a fantastic starting point too. it's a fun campaign, it's a fun setting, and there are amazing magics. I am using all of the official D&D content, with the exception of no Eberron and no other source books other than the Explorer's Guide to Wildmount and the core books. Xanathar's Guide to Everything, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, Mordekainen's Tome of Foes, various, making sure the core stays the same while eliminating a lot of the stuff that would contradict or not be, as easy to mesh into the setting that is not mine. Again, I claim no ownership of Critical Role or its amazing world. I leave that solely to the purview of Mr. Matt Mercer, who is one of the most brilliant DMs I have ever had the pleasure of watching.
Hail to the king.
Brennan Lee Mulligan is a damn close second.
Oh no,
Long
he's
may
getting
he
up
live.
there. He's getting better. He's getting better. I don't know.
I'm
Long may
sorry.
he reign.
I watched Crown of Candy from start to finish, and the Escape from the Bloodkeep made me go watch Crown of Candy and get Dropout TV. Like, Crown of Candy was my shtick, man. I watched the hell out of that.
It was great.
Oh yeah, I still have it, and I put it on a saved playlist, and I still play it in the background every now and then. Oh, Crown of Candy was great. But moving
Brennan
on.
is a character for sure.
Next, my 5e adventure game has some openings. So this game is every Friday at 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. All of these times are in Pacific Standard Time.
When the fuck do you sleep?
I
During
work
the day.
night shift, Emil. I sleep during the day.
From about 11 to like 8, 7.
Laura's like,
11
yeah,
to
I get
7.
that.
Yep.
I
Laura's
feel like
right there
I'm
with me.
not
She
sure.
works night shift right there with me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jensen,
But I have 3 spots available on this particular session. Now, since this was one of the ones I first started when I was first getting my name out there, this is only a $10 per player per session game, and it is an entire homebrew world done by me. It is called The Immortal Empire. It is it is my second homebrew campaign session or setting. By the way, any soda company or any soda that wants to sponsor me, I'm totally down to receive free money, except Mountain Dew. Sorry. I don't drink enough Mountain Dew to make it worth your time.
I'll take the sponsorship. Don't worry.
No, I didn't. I didn't drink nobody's Mountain Dew. I have never
I
been
can't
accused.
have carbonated drinks.
We even got a song about it somewhere. in My family.
Friggin' they took voltage off the shelves. I'm not drinking no Mountain Dew no more.
Have you
yeah,
tried the
I-
Tropical Baja yet?
Yes,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
not impressed.
It was good. It's really good with rum. Really good with
Oh, is
rum.
it?
Anyway, so the Immortal Empire is the
Because you
second
waited
homebrew
out.
setting that I have created, and I am running my fantastic characters and crew through that. I certainly look forward to anyone who wishes to join. The applications are there and ready to go. Again, just $10 per player per session. The next one is if you want to be sailing the high seas of Vodari, I've got the game for you. Wednesday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am running a second Seas of Vodari campaign. I will be using any official D&D content, and of course the official source books. But the only other source materials I will be allowing is, of course, the Seas of Vodari, and when it releases, Under the Seas of Vodari. So, if you want to play in this fantastic sorcery and swashbuckling setting, and you have the time early this very beautiful day, then please come on down and I will happily run you through it. Because it'll be a new high-flying adventure, and it may not turn out the same as this particular crew.
I will guarantee
Probably
it will not. We will probably all die.
We are a bunch of really iffy people. So
No. We are a bunch of morons. Get it straight.
And
that's what iffy individual means.
And last but certainly not least is for those of you who are Game of Thrones fans and not just D&D fans. There was for a while a Game of Thrones tabletop RPG. It was called A Song of Fire and Ice. I have it. I am going to run a session and a game and a campaign going through all of the official material and then a homebrew story that I am in the process of writing. So,
Oh my god.
Sounds super good.
if
Oh my god!
Vex and I were in one of Saturday morning one, and I was actually really sad that it canceled.
yeah,
It
unfortunately,
was really good.
I didn't have the time and had to start making money. So,
Things happen.
but it is.
Sweetie. Yeah.
This is indeed during that same time. However, it is Saturday morning. This one runs 8:30 to 11:30 in the a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The first session is 3 weeks from now, so you have plenty of time to look at your bank and look at your finance and decide if you're able to attend or not. I will be using everything from all of the books. We will be going over a home house session, creating the home house by hand, creating all of your characters together, and however many sessions that takes, hopefully no more than 2, but those will all be free sessions. So until we actually start playing the campaign, I do not charge for character creation or session zeros, as I like to call them. But that is $12 per player per session, every Saturday morning, 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 in the
Wow,
a.m.
what a reasonable price.
It certainly is. I mean, heck,
Absolutely.
I've seen
You're
guys
fantastic,
charging $30 a session
That's
or
what
like
I'm
charging
saying.
like
It was a reasonable
$60
price.
a
It
month.
wasn't sarcastic, I promise.
I'm sorry, the way you said
was
it did
supposed to
sound
be
really
insert
sarcastic.
It was supposed to be insert shitty
Like
accent.
we know that all of us speak sarcasm fluently, and it can slip in a bit, but he wasn't
It was
sarcastic.
supposed to be shitty
Kind of
acting. I'm
like your
sorry.
Yeah, it's that commercial acting. I get it. It's the.
It sounded so
Are you tired of your
sarcastic.
old
Oh my
mop
God.
catching on fire every time you use it?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Can
If
you
this
If
just
only
today's
not
there was
go to
sponsor-
another
sleep?
way.
Today's sponsor brought to you by the Non-Fire Mop.
Yeah.
It really works. When you mop, you don't have to worry about it catching on fire and burning your house down every single time. We see our economy nowadays. Our houses are always catching on fire because of burning mops. But now, thanks to today's sponsor, you don't have to worry about that. Save thousands
Non-fire
upon
mop.
millions of dollars.
Get yours today.
Let's read Shadow Legends? Wait, what?
Hey, you know
For
what? If Raid
$19.99.
Shadow Legends wants to sponsor me, I'm okay with that too.
$19.99. You
Money.
get free shipping and handling.
My
You must be
guy,
18
my
years
guy,
old.
you are willing to take money from everybody that would sponsor you, except Mountain Dew.
I'm willing to take money from everybody who wants to send me money because I am very grateful and because money makes the world go round.
Except Mountain
Yeah.
Dew.
Except Mountain Dew.
Oh boy, we're just a lot of fucked up people.
Was waiting for you to grab the wine, dumps out iced coffee, pours in a bottle of wine, and starts drinking it. I watched that Sandersides episode.
Anyway,
Love it.
I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
Oh, they're drinking iced coffee. They just dumped it out and then just filled it all up with wine and just started drinking it like it was coffee. And
Anyway.
that was a huge mood for me.
You don't drink wine.
But
I do when in that situation.
Laura looks offended.
No, the thing is that coffee makes you wake up and wine puts you to sleep.
Damn right.
yes, you're having an upper and a downer in one drink, which is bad for you.
All in one go.
It is bad. It is
But-
like smoking marijuana and drinking power energy drinks. It's terrible.
I wouldn't
Really
Had
know
to do
how
that once in
goes.
college. I was taking a sleep medicine so I can get a good night's sleep, and then I had a friend in a crisis, so I went, shit, I'm gonna fall asleep. So I had to pow down a 5-hour energy, and the entire time they were telling me their problems, I was floating.
Yeah, no. Bad.
Yeah.
Bad, bad.
So-
Moving along,
Mhm.
our
This episode sponsored by not fucking doing that, but being stupid.
But so
Any more announcements, dear DM?
No, that's all for announcements. That's all for the shilling. Now to the meat and potatoes of the session. So last time, our focus of the story, or focuses Foci?
Foci. Foci.
Our foci of the story had a intense negotiation with Captain Mags. In so doing, they learned of the amazing contracts that certain houses, specifically House Tea Leaf, they learned about the very magical, very powerful contracts that House Tea Leaf is able to whip up.
Oh, more reason to fuck him over. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Make a reality. They
Yeah,
also
Dwight
have
wasn't here.
discovered. They discovered a interesting sight in the form of an airship attacking a regular ship, and in so doing, they learned of a captain, specifically a captain known as Captain Mako Tidalwave of the Freedom Sand, which I
Oh, I
believe.
thought it was the SS get fucked. Anyway.
Which I believe so. You wanted to do a history check to see if you've heard of him.
Yes, let's get fucked. We all
Yes,
heard
please.
The legendary SS get fucked.
of it.
I'm gonna shut up before he kills us.
Oh,
I
look
see
at
that smirk on
Kraken!
his face.
How do you handle it? Roll initiative.
Surprise. The stress siren noise.
16. So, you've heard kind of a rumor about Mako. Actually, no one.
The other question was, do I get advantage because I'm a pirate nerd?
Fine. I'm nice. I'm a nice guy. What can I say?
Hell
16
yeah.
is as best as you get. So, the name Mako Tidal Wave doesn't ring a lot of bells, but the name Freedom's Hand does. You only know Freedom's Hand because for a long time, the Freedom's Hand was mostly a nobody in terms of piracy. If they existed, no one really knew, no one really talked about them. And then it became the first flying pirate ship in recorded history. It is said that they have some unknown technology created by gnomes and created by the very dangerous workers who live in what is that city?
What's it called?
I think it's
Part of the West.
Zolan. That's right. Zoleni, the capital of the Zolan item. Zolan is a economic and technological powerhouse built by gnome, dwarf, and human survivors. Today, a lot of the guilds control this techocracy, and the powerful guild chairs vote each year to elect the governor or to retain the current one. The sky above Zolan is darker than the rest of Vodari, not because of dark sorcery or ominous storms, but because of the constant coal fires and machine work going on night and day. Smoke billows from thick black pillars from the cities of Zeleni and Gemnackle, coating the island in a pall of industry. Rather than the salty tang of the sea, the air smells of carbon, ozone, and copper.
It's not as
Pollution!
bad as people would think. It's just, false. Fake news. Fake news.
Fake
Don't worry.
news.
It's all fake news.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
its air quality is the same as China's.
It's better actually. It's better than most of Vodari's. It's probably the best. You should go over and see it sometime. Fantastic.
The governor of Zolan. Ronald Rump.
But
How many does it take to change a light bulb? None. They all say that it never blew out.
Sometimes you just gotta grab him by the wrench, if you know what I'm saying.
anyway, moving on.
Took this joke way too far. Way too far. I'm sorry.
I'm done. I'm done.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
But anyway, as I like to not be political on here,
Sorry.
let's make sure we keep it that way.
I apologize. I couldn't help it.
I apologize as well. It was the fake news thing that got me.
Anyway, so you know that the Freedom's Hand appeared as more of a menace once it became available to fly, once it gained the ability to fly. Though, one thing you've heard, and now that you've seen it, it seems that the flying is a temporary thing. It can't fly all the time, despite the tall tales of this ship coasting the skies of Vodari and sailing through the Vessi's Rage to snipe treasure and galleons.
Is it the only flying ship at the moment?
Currently, it's the only known flying ship.
Okay.
There are a ton of submersibles, and from what you can understand, based on the wing apparatus that you saw it using earlier in the day when you guys first spotted it, it does seem like it's a prototype at best. Though, how far along the technology is anyone's guess.
Do I know if it was built by pirates or if it was built by unintended people and then stolen by pirates?
The general rumors are that the Freedom's Hand didn't have wings at some point. There was some point where it was just another simple this is a man of war.
Base man of war, no big deal. Got it.
No super big deal, although it was a little overgunned. It had
lots of deck mages before? Enchanted in any way?
Two or three deck mages that you've heard of.
And not overly enchanted, it seems, right?
No, not overly enchanted, though the cannons are argued to have some enchantment on them.
But not the hull.
No, not really. Though if that's changed since this construction or adaptation,
of course.
Who knows?
Cell trying to devise a way to fuck up this ship while it's no.
I'm honestly just curious, and this is entirely what Cell would run through.
The other thing you've heard of is you've actually heard of a bard, specifically.
Ooh, a bard.
Mm-hmm. His name is. Let me pull up my handy dandy chart sheet. His name is Mr. James Sandian. He is a half elf, a high half elf. He's likely a shanty bard or something, but he is an
already
author.
Sounds like a prick.
You know that he wrote a biography on a pirate captain not too long ago by the name of Captain Rose. She is the captain of the Black Rose, which is a far more infamous ship. However, it is rumored that Mr. Sandian has snuck his way or climbed his way on board the Freedom's Hand and is now writing a biography on the captain of that ship.
Captain Mako?
Very likely, if the captain is still Mako. Because, unfortunately, Mako himself hasn't made much of a name for himself, but the ship has. Which is an odd thing. But then again, being a flying ship, tends to make a name for itself.
The other question I did have was, when seeing it in battle on the horizon, could I have gleaned any knowledge on anything else other than the cannons being magical? Outside of
you don't even know if the cannons are magical. That's not what you
That's
know
just
from.
rumor.
Yeah, that's just rumor.
I'm sorry, what was the bard's name again?
James Sandian. He is a
Thank you
high half elf. Likely he's a bard, maybe a shanty bard, maybe a lore bard. No one knows. He is an author.
Sandy or Sanchi?
Sandian. Sandian.
Okay.
The kind of adjective that Anakin Skywalker would hate. Yes.
You're looking at someone who hasn't watched Star Wars.
Oh.
We need to educate you anyway.
Moving on.
You know that what you saw today, and what all of you saw when you all spotted the ship at some point, is that when the ship fires its cannons, for a broadside. The ship actually tilts, and it kind of moves like a bird because it has these giant flapping wings made of metal and other various components you were too far away to see. But it actually tilts and aims its cannons down that way. You're not quite sure how they got the mechanics of that to work, but it does.
How to stabilize it, yeah, but because it kind of has to, because the
All I
cannons
do
are on the
remember
side and
is
he has
that
to look
the
down,
predominant of their battle was forged in the sea because they took a shot in the air and then they dipped in, right?
They took 2 shots. They shot off 2 broadsides. One was a warning shot. One actually hit the ship, collapsed the mainsail and the forecastle, and basically stalled the ship.
And then
they went in. Yeah.
Dropped and boarded.
You didn't hear any sounds of fighting. You didn't see any fire, and in fact, the ship was still on the horizon last you saw it, and the 2 ships were still together. But no sounds of explosions or gunfire. Nothing.
So probably a peaceful resolution to that. Except the cannon fire.
So, getting back to now, you all, there was the discussion going on in the hold of the ship, and then a brilliant set of sparks went off into the sky. Niafta, Reeve, and Valor, you're all on deck, and you all saw that. You then saw the Freedom's Hand make its entrance. And it made its entrance flying at you, and then sinking into the water in order to come along broadside, fling over boarding ramps, and there's a lot of boarding hooks.
I'm assuming that I've burst through the doors by that point.
Yeah, by this point you do come in, because Max did say, well, the signal went off. And that was how you concluded your meeting. And so as you all convene and look, there is indeed some people making their way onto your ship.
Bloody
Valor, Niafta, and Reeve, what are the first things you guys do as you see this, as this happens?
Are you gonna kill us?
All hands on deck.
Know. All that we can do is observe and see what happens in silence, so that we can make ourselves less noticeable, and see it.
The after just sees those 4 stooges, goes in between them.
Yeah.
Bushes spring up as Niafta sinks in between them.
Valor?
Valor's already on the defensive. He's going to be, basically he's going to be gripping the shield a little tighter and, I want to say, half unsheathing his sword.
As you do, you see 2 individuals walking down this boarding plank. The first of which is a half elf, pale tan skin, sandy blonde, brown hair, and he is definitely a bard. You can tell from his saunter, from his swagger. However, the thing that stands out for this particular bard is on one hip he has a drum, a bongo. On the other hip he has a lute. And in his hand he has a massive book with a quill. And he's taking notes.
It's James! Sorry.
It's Sandian! Yep!
He seems totally oblivious to everything around him. The person he's with, however, is a water genasi, and as he sees you, Valor, with your hand on your sword, he just kind of glances over at you. I can shoot you from here. Don't draw. We're coming in a peaceful solution. Peaceful resolution, hopefully. We got you outmanned, outgunned, and outmagicked. So just everybody calm down, and everything will be fine. We're not here to steal anything. We're here to pick up passengers.
I just go up. I go up behind.
Not calm.
I'm about to say, at this point, me and Reeves burst through. At that point, me and Reeves already burst through the captain's
You and
quarters.
Xavier, yes. You and Xavier.
Me and Reeves. Xavier wasn't there. Me and Reeves were in the captain's quarters talking at that.
Yeah.
That was at the end of the last session. Yes.
We had a heart to heart.
Oh, okay.
Smooth my hair a little bit, make sure I don't look too disheveled, and whisper to Reeves.
You always look disheveled.
Well, he said.
Thank
he
you,
said
I
he's-
guess. It's my aesthetic.
He said he's here as a passenger convoy, so I have no quarrel with him. So I'm just gonna piss off.
All right. So as you relax, you watch as he
Yeah.
pulls his hand away from his waist and shows
I
his
would-
hands.
I would like to meet him before he hops onto the ship.
Okay, so you meet
He
him at
already
the end
did.
of the you meet him at the end of the ramp.
Yep. Just,
And he
what's your
looks,
business?
I'm here to pick up some passengers. That's what that blue sparks were, yeah?
There were blue sparks. Who fired that off?
And at this point, Mags, I did, or rather, had it done. And you have to I didn't do shit.
So I just shout down from the crow's nest. Mags, friends of yours.
Aye.
All right.
Right. Have a good one.
Take a step. You have permission to come aboard, I guess.
I'm just gonna go like around and try to go behind this bard and try to sneak peek what he's writing down.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check followed by a perception check, if you'd be so kind.
Okay,
enough to.
stealth.
Can
Find out
Xavier
he's
just go?
scribbling.
Oh, shit, no.
Can Xavier
I
just
need
go
your
on
tail
the?
to be
Squiggly
wagging like a little
lines.
puppy. Just saying.
Okay, hold it. I have to open my character sheet.
That might be important.
I forgot.
And this is the
My
gentleman
bad. Oh, this is the.
that you
Oh, so
see.
this is the man.
However, I cannot on good conscience let you on my ship without knowing your
Okay.
name.
Oh, I am Captain Mako Tidal Wave of the Freedom's Hand. This is my, we'll call him
Right.
Ghost Rider, Mr. James Sandian.
Ooh,
James
fantastic.
Anthony. It's a very fancy name.
is
Okay,
a-
so what is what I have to roll?
Roll stealth.
Stealth.
The ghost writer that gives the pen and stare.
Coughs, coughs, and
And
tries to
then-
straighten out my jacket a little bit.
Yes.
Perception.
It was a pleasure to have you on board, sir.
He notices you and you close to the book.
Let me shrink that a bit just so it's a proper token size.
Look, first impressions are important.
And so Reeve, Sal,
And I
Xavier
don't
up
impl-
there,
And I don't plan to be a footnote.
Sandian's right there.
Not the same outfit you have one of your other characters, Blaze. Like that outfit looks really similar.
I've probably
Or
shown
is
it
that
to you
just me?
before.
Yeah.
It looks like Xavier's. Not no.
Can you stream it? Can I
Xeris.
see it? Can you send me the picture? Can somebody stream?
Somebody send him the picture, please.
Nah, I don't feel like it.
Hold on.
But anyway,
There you go.
Funny nose.
as he,
Xavier just slides down a bit to the rigging and sits down, hanging onto the mast.
you sneak up behind Sandy and just fine as he appears to be clearly unaware of you. However, Mako does kind of glance over at you, letting you know that he sees you, but doesn't react otherwise. And as you look over Sandian's shoulder, you see him reading, and then he walked onto the deck of this unknown ship, ready to kill all of these worthless sea dogs, but his merciful hand was stayed.
I see.
And Mako just looks at you, Sal. Am I to take it you're the captain then?
Yeah, I'd be the captain.
And you be?
Sel Bamba. Nice to meet you. I hold out my hand.
Mako
is a pleasure.
nods and shakes your hand.
Perfect. I put my other hand around and grasp it and shake.
Grasp and shake. Firmly grasp it. Sorry.
Both hands. It needs both hands.
Are you doing
Oh.
this?
Nyafta, as he,
Yes.
as both of his hands, as his one hand is encapsulated by two, you now notice Sandian for the first time looking up, and he's keeping an eye on Sel. And for the first time, his quill is stopped. It's in midair, and his eyes are dead focused. He still hasn't seen you, but his eyes are dead focused. And then Mako just simply nods and, are you going to let my hand go anytime soon?
No.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. I just wanted to make sure it was. Yeah, no, yeah. Mhm.
Sorry,
Get yourself
it's his
together,
first time
man.
being captain.
I don't realize that I haven't let go yet.
Get yourself together, man.
Mako
Sorry,
smiles.
Captain Mako. It's his first time being captain, and he's really excited to meet
It's
another
not my
captain.
first time being. I let go. It's not my first time being captain. I've been a
You
captain
act
of
like
plenty
it,
of other
though.
stuff.
Oh, have you? I haven't met you before. That's a shame. But then again, I haven't met every captain yet. I'm making an effort, though.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It's not something serious. It was just on a basic merchant vessel. It's not a big deal.
Oh, okay. Merchant work. Well, welcome to the free sector.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm working in. Yep, that's me.
So, Max, are you the one who needs a lift? Kind of. Oh, okay. Well, then I'll happily give you a lift to shore. What happened to the albatross? I really don't want to talk about it.
Sunk.
I actually thought I thought like part of I thought part of the deal was I'd put you to shore, but that's fine too.
Oh, he
I-
probably
I-
doesn't
I-
trust you.
I don't think she likes to be on this ship, so let her go. Max, it was a pleasure, mate.
Oh, I'm still coming with you to port. Mako
Oh,
is just
really?
escorting all of us to port. She
That
says,
might
be-
she says with a white
fair.
smile.
Oh, that's much better. Yes. Mm-hmm.
That
And
is
You just
completely fair.
very faintly hear Reeves giggle. It's just like she doesn't trust that you're a good captain.
Yeah. Mako, quick question.
quick answer.
Before Mags decides to sink this ship, can I get on that one?
No, you can't get on my ship, and Mags isn't sinking this ship. Those were blue
Please don't.
sparks, not red.
Please don't sink my
If they were
ship.
red sparks, I would have sunk this ship. And we
I'm about to say,
wouldn't be having this pleasant conversation.
I am happy that you picked the right one.
However,
You know,
being
flying
that we
ship
will,
is shit.
being that we will be traveling together for some time, or at least, next to each other for a... where did you say you were going, Max? Oh, we're just going back to Port Zavro. Ah! Very well. Well then, yes. As soon as we set down in Port Zavo, then we shall part ways. However, until then, should one or two of you wish to come aboard the Freedom's Hand, I'd have no problem entertaining guests for the
Oh my god,
evening.
yes, please. Sorry.
Sorry, can you spell Port Zavo?
Looks-
I'm dumb.
Looks away.
Zavo.
Zavo. Okay, I figured that's what it was, but I don't know why. I thought it would be next.
I'll
So
put you,
what's the
I'll
land?
put you
Just
back
raising
on the
your
world.
hand.
I'll put you back on the world map now that you kind of have an image.
Yay.
And it's the red square.
Sorry,
Okay.
I've just never had an opportunity to be on a flying ship
Bravo.
before, and
Well, I'm afraid she won't be airworthy for any longer. I already pissed off my chief engineer.
I would definitely like to learn what makes it work. That's really it's so cool.
Mm.
Sorry.
Can you stop nerding out?
Hey,
Shut up! I'm not nerd.
question.
Alright, fine.
So since I'm perceiving that it's like safe, like our interaction with these people is safe. I noticed like this bird is like staring at Sil, right?
Once Mako has his hand again, Sandian just goes back to writing.
Yeah, well, no, I because I noticed that he is like staring there to Sil, and I go like, it's a he.
You watch as Sandian jumps like a cat that's been scolded and he whips around. Good to know. I wasn't curious, but then he like makes a quick. You watch as he goes to a certain line of text, writes 2 slashes and a line through them over she, and then writes he.
Goes over 2 more passages where he wrote she.
Wait, hold up. Do I hear this and notice any like sudden adjustments?
You do see Sandian jump, but that's kind of obvious. You didn't exactly hear what Nyafta said. No.
Oh, okay.
She was
I mean, we
whispering
all
and
know
this
it's
was-
I'm
looks
behind
like
his
so.
shoulder and I'm whispering in his ear.
Yeah.
I think I'll.
Still
stay
has
on
longer
this ship.
eyelashes than Niafta, so just saying.
I think I'll
Yeah,
Stay
please
on
don't,
this
please,
ship.
please don't bother our guests.
Say that again, Vex. I didn't hear it.
I think I'll
Don't
stay
think I
on this
was.
ship. Somebody has to pilot it while the air quotes captain is on the other ship.
Oh my god, thank you so much, Vex. I really definitely want to take a look on
It's
it.
Valor.
I owe you a
Valor.
big... My bad. Thank you so much, Valor.
Don't thank me. I don't care.
To
Oh,
which
he was being
Mako
super
just kind of
sarcastic,
Mako
dumbass.
just kind of tilts his head and looks to Valor. You know, as a friendly gesture, maybe I should have one or two of my my boys or a couple of my girls over here, and they can help educate your crew on how things work around here. And he kind of looks to you, Sel. I mean, if that's all right with you.
Xavier
don't
thinking to
think
himself, this is
that
a fucking
should-
hostage situation.
It's basically just saying that you're shit at being a captain.
Cell squints. Tilts their head. Kind of. I don't think that should be a problem.
Excellent. Hey, Amy, Becca. He calls over to his ship, and you see a water.
What?
Let me make
Water,
sure I'm
water.
actually saying this right.
Water.
It's very important I get their races correct because the people who they're based off of may not like me anymore. I still like them, so.
I like you.
I like me too.
I like
you. I'm also
I
a
don't
big
give a
fan
fuck
of
about your
BS.
boyfriend.
You watch as
I like you.
I appreciate it. You watch as a sea dwarf and a human. The human has a massive rifle on her, is just kind of strung over her shoulders, and is kind of walking with it. The dwarf has a cannon, just like under one arm, and is walking down the planks with it.
She's that fighter subclass. Great.
And
She has a fucking
those
culverin on her.
Those won't be needed.
oh, you go armed everywhere. That's rule 1. The only people who
Agreed.
don't go armed are technically passengers. But don't worry, Becca and Emmy are 2 of my most trusted officers. They won't let anything happen to your ship at any time when you visit. And this is a sign of goodwill that we are going to be, in good company with one another.
Sea dwarf
Absolutely,
and
I'm just-
human?
Yes, a
Sea dwarf
a
and
sea
human.
dwarf and a human.
Which
hold
one's
up.
the sea dwarf and which one's the human?
Emmy is the sea dwarf, Becca is the
Okay.
human.
I would like to whistle
Human.
real
Okay.
quick.
The human
to get
has
the
the cannon.
attention.
No, human has the rifle. Dwarf has the cannon.
Yes.
Yep.
And to get
Okay.
whose attention?
I'm getting the attention of the 4 Stooges, Larry, Curly, and Mo, I guess, and D'Artagnan.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was Jack.
The fourth,
Those
the
things.
4th inaugural member.
Oh.
Can you get my pistols? They're below deck. Make sure they're loaded.
They nod and trip over each other trying to get below deck. Mako smiles. I remember when I had people that inept. Don't worry, they do get better.
We literally
They
just picked them
go.
up and accidentally came across the ship, and now it's mine.
Yeah, except this
Sort
is
of.
the Sea Devil. I know the captain who should be on this vessel. Where is he?
He did. He
Oh, yeah,
did.
we
Brains
killed
out.
him.
Blew his brains out.
We cooked him
Wishing-
and I wanted to eat him, but everyone said no.
We don't eat people.
Yeah, that's
You
not.
don't eat people.
Yeah, Ray, brother. I already told you. Among people, yeah,
Embarrassing me.
no. Among people, don't talk about eating people. You can talk about it with me, and I'll, piss you
Yeah,
off about
but
it.
he was a really big enemy, and I think it's a super big culture thing when you eat the enemy that you kill.
No, you don't want
I
their bad
slide-
blood in you. That's basic.
I slide
medicine
down the rest
101.
of the mast.
Bad blood is a thing.
I slide down the rest of the mast and take Reeve off to the side. No.
Mako just kind of smiles. Don't worry, my chief engineer Gizmo is much the same way. and he's a Grindilo.
What's a Grindalo?
Oh,
It's a water creature.
he.
Add a
It's a water
character
creature.
too. What the fuck's a Grindalo?
If
It's
you
a water
actually
creature.
look under, resources, there's the quick start guide to the Under the Seas of Vodari, and Grindylows are the newest playable race in that particular module. They're basically
Yep.
That's
goblins
very
with
interesting.
octopus tentacles.
Yeah.
Yup.
Like Cthulhu?
Octogoblins, as you will.
Yeah,
They're
they're like
Goblin Ursulas.
Like Davy Jones?
No, Goblin Ursulas.
No,
Goblin
goblin body
except
with
for they
octopus
probably
legs.
actually have 8
Goblin
tentacles
Ursulas.
instead of 6.
Mm-hmm. But
Also, they also added Krakatoas, crab people.
Yeah.
Crab
people.
let's not.
Return to crab.
But
Walk like
I know
people.
them from Harry Potter.
as he gives a
Crab.
whistle, you actually do see something slither up the side of your guys' ship, and he kind of looks down. Why were you down there? Fixing. I told you not to do it twice in a day, and look at what you did to us.
I don't
Calm
take
down,
it as
practice
Gizmo.
you guys.
It was really cool though.
I told you she couldn't handle 2 flights in one day, and I
For the
told you it
record.
would be fine.
Reeves raises his hand and is like, for the record, it looked really cool though.
Thanks, I take full credit.
I said it
You
looked
do a really good job.
Lowers his hand again.
Did I say that right? Did I say that in common right?
good.
Let him be. Let him be for a while. Let him talk.
And Mako does look to you, Sel. Thank you. I take great pride in my ship, which I hope one day you can take great pride in this ship. Though I would change the name and the front ornament if I were you.
Oh, definitely.
Gotta work on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Of course. We're planning on upsizing eventually, so it.
Well, fantastic. It is very important to have plans for the future, and that is something that I honestly can't take full credit for. After all, my lovely navigator and first mates Tina and Olivia, respectfully, are quite the brilliant women who were one step ahead of me when I was first starting out. Without them,
You're giving
I'd
me
be
too many
nothing.
names.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to put them all down yet.
No, I am.
You can rewatch the video and put them all down later.
I plan to meet every single one of them and learn a great deal about everything that's going on.
To which, speaking of, to pulling you back, Gizmo is wearing, he has no clothes on except a pair of goggles. But he has octopus tentacles from the waist down, so there's no impropriety for those of you squeamish out there. But he has on goggles.
That's a lot of skin.
It is. And he has
Did you
on a
know
couple of
that,
bandoliers.
If he would have been a Nog, I
your
would have
longer
asked about
tentacle
his
is their
penises.
dick.
Anyway. He
know.
has a lot
I'm
of-
not gonna judge him. I'm
He has a lot of belts and a lot of bandoliers, all with various tools on them. And he's got a pair of goggles over his eyes, so you actually can't see them. But you can see his gills, and you can see his shark-like teeth, along with a shark-like fin that kind of comes up over his head, on the top of his head.
He's
which
amphibian,
is-
isn't he?
Huh?
Don't be attracted.
He's amphibian,
Don't
isn't
be
he?
attracted. Don't be attracted. Don't be
No,
attracted.
no,
to
he's
the fucking
amphibian, that's what I'm
monster
asking.
meal.
Grindylos are amphibious creatures. But he...
I will take this time to reach out a hand to shake his hand or tentacle or whatever appendage he ends up giving me.
He
It's
actually
a
just
pleasure. You're
reaches
definitely
out
gonna
and
have to show me some things.
he reaches out, shakes your hand. Yeah, sure, not. And he
Hurt.
and then he lets go. And as he lets go, you see all this grease and oil just now covering your hand as you realize that all the smudges on him are from working. And he's actually been, like he said to Mako, he was in the middle of working. And then he looks up. Now, can I done being a sideshow, or do you want to show me off some more, huh? Go finish your work, Gizmo. I just wanted you to meet our new friends. I don't need friends. I need parts. And he jumps into the ocean and is gone.
Oh wait! Oh, fuck!
I flex my hand that is covered in grease and grime and stuff like that. I don't want to wipe it off to seem rude, but I
Mako just
definitely
holds
do.
his
So
hand.
it's just,
Mako just holds his hand over yours and casts prestidigitation, and it's gone. Sorry about
thank
him.
God. Thank God. I didn't want to be rude.
I certainly understand. And Gizmo is well, he's not exactly the cleanest of shipmates I have, but he is definitely the one of the main tinkerers. Him and Jasmine are definitely my two go-to tinkerers.
So
Though,
if I did talk to Jasmine and maybe got like some ideas on how to maybe upbrain some
oh,
gestures to the.
don't even waste your time trying. This prototype is just that. We're actually doing a test run. We were
How do you
hired.
tell?
Yeah, we were hired out of Zeleny to perform a test run for the first ever, what they're calling duck ships. It's a work in progress name, I hope.
That sounds really bad.
Well, we
For
can't.
the
They
gods, I
can't
hope
call
it
them.
is.
They can't call them amphibious because they don't go under the water and onto land, or they don't water and land craft. So they can't call them amphibious. So they went, what name do we go with? Ducks. Which I'm just like, you couldn't go with albatross ships? Like, albatross was right there. But
Gull ships, seagulls, you know.
Eagle?
there you go. See? Gnomes. What are you going to do with them?
Just winged.
And then he actually looks back. Don't tell Jessie I said that, because she's a rock gnome and I really like her to death. And she's my second best engineer. But, you know, Gizmo's been working on this project since ever, and he's one of its founders. So without him, you're not even going to get it to try. I don't even think Jessie really knows how to start the ship. So if Gizmo ever went on strike, I'd be kind of up Shit's Creek.
I thought it was Jasmine that was the other tinkerer. Who's Jessie?
Yeah.
Well, Jasmine, Jessie, and Gizmo are my three tinkerers. But Jasmine's
Fucking
more
damn
just a
it.
heavy lifting muscle type.
Right.
She also
So-
works mostly as the cook.
Maybe
Ever since,
lifting.
unfortunately, you know, Silver didn't join us when we parted from the Black Rose, but is what it is.
Do you have anything exotic on board by any chance?
I'm pretty exotic.
Aside from the
I'm
tabaxi
sorry.
that just jumped on board, he says, as you now notice, Tessa is on board the other ship.
Tessa, calm down. It's not that big.
She responds, you know, I actually seen her. I think we picked her up from somewhere, didn't we? He looks at Sandian, and Sandian, he sets the quill down in the book, and he flips. And as he does, he flips about a good half of the way through all of the written section, and then he's... And you watch as he moves his fingers, the book is turning pages. He's not actually touching it at this point. He's literally just waving his fingers in the air, and it's turning pages as he does so. And then he stops and points, and you watch as a sentence highlights itself in the book.
Whoa.
Wow, I didn't know you had word search.
Went to this
Impressive.
island to retrieve a tabaxi. She identified herself as Silvertail, former chieftainess, betrayed. Needs
Oh yeah,
to
that's
ride the
absolutely
ship.
her.
Yeah, that's her, I believe. And then he
Right.
kind of shows Mako, and Mako, oh yeah, we did do that. You know, did I ever mention I love having you around? He says, clapping Sandian on the shoulder. And then looks. But
I do apologize for my good friend Tessa, but she I can't say she means well.
oh, don't worry. Tessa and I are old drinking buddies. She and I got into a bit of a drinking contest, and we had some mutual respect when everything was said and done. I'm not worried about it.
Reeve, while that's happening,
So-
he kind of looks at. He wants to like sneak over and look at the book.
Sal sort of like squints their eyes as he's telling the story and then lets up.
But,
Right, gentlemen. It's a lovely conversation. Shall we be on our way?
Oh, yes.
Also, I really want to be on the ship. Show me everything.
Sure. Sandian, stay here and entertain our new friends with some of the tales of my exploits, huh? After all, this is how we get
It's
a name
really
for ourselves.
egotistical. Oh, I mean
wanna-
that sounds cool.
Anyone who remembers, please do so.
You look at Sandian actually kind of looks at you, Reeve. How else do you think pirates operate?
I can't
know.
read.
It's okay. A lot of people can't. It's
You
usually
can read
reserved for
and
the
you
upper
can
crust.
write. That's really cool.
I can read, I can write, and I can sing.
Love it.
With bards
I'm
too.
glad I'm leaving.
You know, mate. I can admit that I saw that coming. Still had
And
a bit,
honestly, I loved it.
but yeah, you got a good voice.
Xavier, I need my new second.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I'm
doing
staying
really well
here, bitch.
too.
No, I need you over here.
I am
All
not
right.
that advanced on the bartery though, but yeah, I see you, Buzz.
All right.
He's doing really well too. You guys
tell
should duet
Valor to-
sometime. It'd be so cool.
Tell Valerie's doing a good job and
That's
just
a good
keep doing
idea.
what he's doing.
Do you see me flip
All
the
right.
bird to him? You just see me flip the bird to the voice?
I'm sure that's a sign of good faith amongst your people.
All
Flip the
right,
bird
hold
back.
Hold on a second. I take a part of my notebook. I write something down in it. Decrypt. I encrypt it,
Mhm.
and I hand it to Valor. Please hold on to this, mate. All right. Do me a favor.
I'll keep it safe.
Thank you.
Um,
If you want to read it, you can. By the way, it's not that important.
if you
What
What
wanna-
does it say?
It's not that important, but I took the time to encrypt it. Damn it!
No, because it's like as soon as I get on the ship, I just edit decrypt in front of him.
Alright, well, I guess I'll read it in the after I start sailing the ship.
Which is easy enough to do, and the ship does set sail. You now have Becca and Emmy on your ship, along with Mr. Sandian. Who went across to the Freedom's Hand? Sal,
Me
Xavier.
and Xavier.
All right.
So,
Did anyone else
Xavier,
want to join?
I'm pretty sure Tessa and Mags are probably going to.
Yes, Tessa and Mags are there. However, you notice everyone else in Mags's crew stays on board this ship.
I
All
do whisper to
Bear,
Mags as
can I
we do
come with
pass.
you?
Sure.
Yes.
I'd rather keep an eye on you.
Yeah.
I do take this time to whisper to Mags and mention that like I can't in good conscience exactly take 7.5 if we can't give you anything special, so probably like 5% will be fine.
5% works.
I know we agreed to 7, but I'm going to cut it back down to 5 and I won't take any more.
And she nods. Mighty nice of you. I'm gonna go catch up with an old friend. He needs to know some things.
Absolutely.
And with that, as she goes on board, I will actually start on. I will actually stay on the Sea Devil for a bit. However, as I do, you watch as Sandian kind of waves his hand, and he creates a an image of himself singing a song, which you guys should be able to hear in Roll20.
I will absolutely take this time
Very
as I pass
faint.
Sandy to be like, I am a boy, by
Kirk
the way.
Douglas,
that
a
is
whale of a
important.
tail. Fucking now.
I will take this opportunity to mention to Sandy of the past. I am a boy, by the way, if that is at all important.
Sandian nods. Oh, I know this.
Right, of course you do.
I have Agar. Don't worry.
Of course you do. I'm very masculine.
Yeah, okay, that's a
You
word
have
for it.
longer eyelashes than the
Behind
after.
Sal, I
That's
just
saying
go.
something.
Apparently,
Behind
I'm better
Sal with
looking
Sandian
than
looking at me.
NIAFTA, according to NIAFTA. So
Like Xavier behind
Dude,
Cell
yours are
just
just
go,
like-
just looking at Sandy and it just goes.
You blink and a small wind happens.
So,
Yeah, your eyes glow.
Valor. We'll start
Cell
with you,
feels very
actually.
uncomfortable and rushes onto the ship.
The joining plank is taken away, and you guys both sail your ships away, headed towards Port Zavo. Valor,
Okay.
as you're sailing, you watch as the dwarf with the cannon under her arm walks
Me.
up to you, and she just looks at you. So, what you got against your cotton, huh?
I don't have much against him, as I have several things against the way he commands others.
Oh, you think you could do better, do you?
Ooh.
I'm a Marine.
I'm a Marine.
Oi, and I'm a general. What's it matter?
I almost spit my
I
drink
would
out.
I would sooner take orders from you than him.
Hmm. You're lucky I'm not your captain. I'd have shot you. I
So
don't know
rude,
why
mate.
your captain
So
allows
rude.
such disrespect on his ship, but maybe he's trying to win you over with affection. But if I was your captain, I'd have blown your fucking head off and thrown you to the sharks. But I tell you what, let's you and me have a gentleman's bet, huh? Unless you're too cowardly to fight a woman.
You can see Valor just kind of crack his neck. He's like, "What's the wager?"
I thought you were gonna say
Dying.
equal rights, equal fights, bitch.
And she
Equal
simply
rights.
she simply cracks her neck and then just gestures to the main deck. How about the duel?
Very well.
First to draw blood is the winner. If I win, you start showing your captain the damn respect he deserves. If you win, I'll call you sir.
Doc, take the helm.
Doc just kind of grabs it, and Cade is quick to get on his shoulders and actually grab it, going, "Why are you letting the big guy drive?"
Because he's big.
Sandian just kind of shakes his head as he hears this. Is this really necessary? And she
Yeah.
goes, yeah, it is.
It is amazingly amusing, if you ask.
All right, I'll referee. First blood, is it? Aye. All right. Name your weapon of choice. My fists.
Oh, sir, you're getting fucked if she using her fists.
And she just looks to you. What do you got there, Snake Man?
I kind of like look down, take my sword, and just chunk it into the deck. No sense fighting with a weapon if you're gonna kind of fight without
Please
one.
don't put holes in my
You can
ship.
fight with a weapon and still get your ass kicked. She says as she gets down to the main deck and actually puts up her fists.
Do the people that are now on the Freedom's Hand get to watch this or no?
No, they're sailing. You guys are sailing. I mean, if anyone
So
who was
sad.
curious, they could look over. But I mean,
I am not. I have no reason.
I'm like, oh fuck, that snake. What the fuck is that snake up to? And I go up with like with the spyglass we nicked from that horde, and I believe someone gave me to fashion into a scope that I didn't have the time to do yet.
so
If he's looking, then I'm definitely gonna peer over because now there's a crowd.
And can I just go walk in the decks going like, beds, place your beds on the fight, place your beds, place your beds.
Emmy actually holds up 3 gold coins, and she goes, "I have 3 gold on the dwarf."
You got it.
Sandian just looks at
Place
her
your
like
beds.
you're not helping. Like, he's like exasperated, like, you're not helping anything, quit it! And she's just like, what? You see,
I'm like,
you see
fuck
the
it,
3
well,
stooges
Valor.
each pull out a copper? We've got 3 coins on the snake man!
Hey,
Even.
Oh, wait.
Xavier, what's
Uh,
happening? What's happening?
4 copper coins on the snake man!
is that canon? Is that canon now that we always forget the fourth dude?
That's why I call him
Right.
D'Artagnan.
Yeah, it's D'Artagnan, everybody forgets D'Artagnan.
Reeve just asked me what's happening, and I'm going like, through gritted teeth. Valor's about to get his fucking ass kicked.
Can I watch?
You actually,
Oh please don't kick my snake's ass.
Wait, what?
you
He needs to
actually,
be, he needs to be used. He needs to be
you
useful
actually
later.
see
Please
Mako
stop.
just kind of
Stop
lean
snake
against
people
the
don't have asses. It's just all spine. or neck?
I hope nothing bad happens.
A lot of people say snakes, it's all just neck, and then their actual tail's just a very tiny end. But like,
Rafe,
is it all neck?
no, that's Rafe.
Yeah.
Wildlife preservation facts, no, not now.
Oh, sorry.
You actually watch as Mako just kind of leans against the railing. Huh. I wonder how this is gonna go.
Please don't
Well,
seriously hurt my snake.
She's using her
think
fists. He'll be fine. If she was using the cannon, then you'd have to worry.
I
Yeah.
couldn't tell. She still has her cannon on her back.
I mean,
Oh yeah,
She's
she
holding a
always has
cannon.
cannon on her back.
she's holding.
I'm
She uses
gonna
the
put-
cannon as a main weapon.
I'm gonna approach now to Valor. I'm gonna go like, dude, you're against, so you better win.
Don't make me look bad, Valor.
I mean, you can inspire him if you want to with that.
Come on, dude, make me some money.
Bruh. First of all, Zell, shut up!
He's not here. You can't hear him.
Oh
That
no,
is-
you
He
definitely
really
can't
shouts
hear.
it.
Don't make me look bad, Valor.
I mean, you have thaumaturgy as a tiefling.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't have thaumaturgy. You know why? Because I'm Mephistopheles.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Well, sucks to suck then.
Yeah, I still am yelling. We're not
Yeah.
that far away.
So, as she gets into place and she holds up her fists, she just kind of looks at you. Ready?
Reeve kind of lightly tugs on Mako's sleeve and is like, "Does she do this a lot on your ship?"
Literally, do you need a count?
Yes. brawling and dueling are actually agreed upon sports here.
Really cool.
No, we're pirates. We have bloodlust. It needs to be quenched somehow.
Aw, they won't let me do my bloodlust at all. They say it's too bad.
That's because you try to eat people.
What did you
Right?
You can kill them, but you cannot eat them. That's unethical.
No, you can't kill them. You just can hurt them. And again, Emmy.
Demoralize
So
them.
Emmy looks to you, Valor, and she just holds up her fists, clenched up. Ready, Snake Mon?
Sure thing. Let's go.
Roll initiative.
You better win.
Like this dwarf is
So
this dwarf
excited.
carries a fucking cannon on her back and uses it as a main weapon. She's ripped.
She hits people with it too. Like I'm
I
talking
love
straight up
the
melee
little,
hits
like,
people with it.
squeeze.
Tell me
yeah,
that's never over
almost
10.
know for a fact that Vex is going to get his ass handed to him.
Well, it actually
Oh,
depends because I
that's
am using the official dueling rules in the
How much-
player's hand in the
how much-
Seas of Vodari.
How much bronze? How many copper do I have?
I don't know.
Can you
I
check?
don't know.
for me?
You took a
Give me
lot
one
of money
second.
from our trip. A lot of
I actually
money.
haven't taken any gold on our trip yet.
Yeah, he hasn't taken
Oh.
anything from your trip actually.
Yeah,
We
no,
haven't
you
divvied-
guys
we
think,
haven't
like,
divvied
really
it up.
poorly of
That
Sal.
too.
Sal's
That
gonna
too
be
is you
okay.
haven't divvied up anything yet. You have
Exactly.
16 copper on your person there. so.
That's my job, isn't it? I'm the guy with the books. That's my
oh
job.
yeah, you're the treasurer.
Want this?
I put three copper down and be like, 3 copper on the snake?
Mako puts 3 copper down. I'll take that bet.
Oh, I know I'm
I don't
definitely
have
gonna
any
lose,
copper,
but it's what
but
you're thinking.
Reeve thinks for a second and just like you see him like open his shirt and like try and rip something off, and he rips off one of his scales and sets it down. Does that count?
Actually, yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Siren scales are actually very valuable. He doesn't know that though, because he's
That's why
dumb.
Mako kept his goddamn mouth shut. He just
Yeah.
went, oh yeah, that works. Yeah.
He just ripped his fucking scale
was-
out.
I whispered to the siren like. I say,
I don't have any money. I have a
But I said-
compass. That's mine.
I'm gonna say, no. Bet on the
I don't know
bet
what
on
I'm
the
betting.
dwarf.
I just put a scale down.
bet on the dwarf.
Wow. Fucking.
This is why I don't respect him.
No, I risked 3 copper on you. Okay.
Game
I'm-
Master
Wow.
7.
Oh, I'm not betting on anyone. I just wanted to put a scale down because it looked cool.
Right.
Alright. When an impromptu fight demands the code duello, duels occur, no magical weapons or effects, participants decide between themselves what armor and shields are allowed. You're both wearing armor, but no weapons, or at least fists have been the only. Duel lasts until first blood.
Leon, what the fuck are you doing over there?
First to 3 hits.
Yep, the participant to reduce their it's to the blood. The first participant to reduce their opponent to half of their maximum event points wins. This method avoids a long battle and outright killing the opponent. Running a duel. Each participant makes an initiative check, which are done. Explained. Neither participant can be surprised. At the beginning of each round, checks that each participant wants to continue. On their turn, each participant takes their actions and movements. Consider how the crowd. Hand on the entire air. Okay. Perfect. So.
We got this.
All right. So
sorry,
just so we know.
Maths I had to do.
Yeah. Just so we know, Valor. What do you gotta be under to lose?
I actually have Valor's total hit points. I have your total hit points too, Reeve. I don't know why you laughing like that.
Yeah.
He has all of our shit, but it has to be below what to lose?
So for
half of a paladin on average.
So Valor, your hit points are 35, yes?
Yeah, has to get me below 17.
Oh. So 17
has to hit 17.
is your total hit points for this. Her hit points are this, and she needs to be at that. So you're both just going in with your fists, am I correct?
Well, fists, and I still have the advantage of my tail.
Oh, that wasn't described. You used your fists.
It's unarmed combat. His tail is part of his unarmed combat.
That is correct. His tail is part of his unarmed combat.
I just said I put my sword in the deck, and I said no weapons, fine.
Yep. And so she agreed to no weapons.
Drop your.
That means you're putting down your shield, right?
Shield could technically be a weapon. And she would make that argument. Because she actually is a tavern brawler, so she would make that argument that a shield is a weapon.
Oh, dude, you're gonna get wrecked if she's a tavern brawler.
Well, I mean, he's got a tail attack, which is a pretty decent,
It's restraining and shit.
It's 2 attacks versus 1 attack a turn.
Wow. You don't know how powerful he is, or she is.
Tavern brawler. Oh, the tavern brawler allows you to use your bonus action.
So anyway,
but as it happens, so Vex, you actually won the initiative there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I thought he was going to lose.
She is
with
not
that
a dex
7.
Stubby
Yeah,
legs.
I was like, tell me that.
Stubby legs. Stubby legs.
But anyway, so everyone quiet down while Vex and I do this, please.
I'm muted.
I'll mute myself.
And I'm going to turn off the jovial music because that doesn't fit anymore. So, Valor, you're about 10 feet apart.
I think I will.
Do we have a map though?
No, this is all theater of the
Okay.
mind.
All right.
Shit, is this from Hook? Sorry.
I think what I will do is use my tail to coil around her and squeeze.
Okay. You do. So, in order to do that, you can do that, but in order to do that, you must get into melee range with her. So, you would need to move in to the 5-foot range. So, you do move closer.
Yeah.
And now, to roll a grapple check, for you, it's either athletics or, for you, it's an athletics check. For her, it's athletics or acrobatics.
Yes.
And so, as you go to wrap your tail around her, at first it looks pretty good, and then she just flexes and pulls your tail apart, lifts it, and throws it over her.
Oh my God, I'm never going to financially recover from this.
Shh.
Since I'm wearing half plate, does that
Basically, he's
include
going like
bracers?
shit, so he's got a chance.
Since you're wearing half plate, what?
Since I'm wearing half plate, does that include bracers?
Yeah, for you specifically, it would.
If I blocked with my bracers, would that count as a shield in terms of
No.
honor? No.
No, it's just part of your armor. So part of your armor class.
Yeah, it would be part of
Fair
your
enough.
AC.
All right.
But it asked.
Hey, no harm asking. I don't mind at all. So that was your turn. So it's now her turn. So she actually moves in, and as she does, she's gonna deliver a jab towards your stomach, which does have plate on it, but she is gonna just try and straight jab you. Your AC is what again?
Without my shield,
It's down 2 points without your shield.
it's 17.
Okay. Oh, that didn't roll. Why
It's
did
not
that
bad.
roll? So you actually watch as she crack, and you feel that as she successfully just meets your AC. She needs to roll. It's 1d4 plus. So you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as she cracks you in the lower half of your stomach, just where your half plate starts to meet. And she actually dented your half plate.
Ow.
As she then is going to try and grapple you now. So for you, it's an acrobatics or athletics to avoid being grappled. For her, it's an athletics check.
Okay.
An 18 acrobatics. So she goes to wrap her arms around you like it's a wrestling match. You pull your body back in that weird, V S shape that snakes can do. Just woof out of the way, and she just, oh, you slippery bastard, and then just gets her fists up again.
I'm sorry, I just wasn't expecting her just to go, oh, you slippery bastard.
Very well. I guess.
I want as Scottish as possible.
Natural 20
Oh,
for right?
my guy, nice. Okay, roll damage. Ooh, she takes 7 points of bludgeoning damage. Yowzer.
Do you just tail whip the bitch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, as I'm folding that S shape, I like reel it back out and crack her with my abs, like bam.
Wait,
Wow.
instead of a tail whip, you just ass whipped her? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
You just went,
Hey,
we
yeah.
are but men.
Yeah.
What's the name of the dwarf again?
Hold up,
Emmy.
he has
Emmy.
dice to unarmed
Demi?
strike?
Emmy.
Emmy.
E-M-I.
Emmy. Here lies Emmy. Death by twerking. Anyway.
Hold up,
Yeah.
he has dice to unarmed strikes?
Valor?
Yeah. That's pretty new. That's pretty dope.
We all
Nope.
have that.
No, it's a
No,
one-
we
it's
all
literally
do
one
not.
damage. It's 1 damage, that's why I'm confused.
Yeah, normally it's 1 plus your strength.
Yeah,
I was
so
given it.
What's your
Yeah,
I was
strength?
strength.
given it. I was
Only
given
adds
an
an
unarmed
additional
strike,
one.
so that's what.
Hmm.
When I dragged it over, that's what I got.
No worries.
I'm just confused. I'm just wondering what you have that does the thing.
We'll worry about it later. I'm not too worried about it right now. But,
I mean, I'm winning. I don't mind.
yeah.
I'm just curious.
Since she's a tavern brawler, so she would be able to spend that bonus action to do that. I do not have that, so
Yeah, you do not have that you do not have that particular feat, as you guys have not had an ASI just yet.
is she wearing gauntlets by any chance?
No. She is bare knuckle brawling you.
Damn.
Ooh.
She don't
Try
need
Her
it.
not to
skin,
fall off
though,
with
is
the
a watery blue color, and you can see like she's got ear fins, and she looks very water dwarf.
She's a sea dwarf. He said that's what she is.
She is.
May or may not draw her later.
That's fine.
Sorry, Vex. By the way, if she hits you, remember you can try and give ground to reduce the damage. It's a new action that I'm
Same
trying
for
to remind you here.
That is
Same-
correct.
Same on both ends. That's why I'm also confused when it became 7 damage versus 5. Yeah,
Anyway, so it's now her turn.
it's really important.
Don't worry about it.
I'm worrying about it.
So, again, so you hit her with your tail, and she, bop, and cracks you again in the chest. Another dent in your half plate as she hits you with a 20.
I will.
It's not a
give
natural
ground.
20. It is just a normal dirty 20.
I'll give ground to
Okay.
reduce damage.
So go ahead and roll a d6.
Might I also add there's pocket sand options?
Shush.
Great.
Okay, so you're gonna take 3 less damage than last time. Ooh, and that's a good thing because she rolled max there. So you would have taken 9. It's now 6 as she cracks you in the stomach, and she just, and you watch as some red spit comes out of her mouth, and you see Sandian like lean in and look, and then he like calms the hell down again. Because Sandian is refereeing this thing.
Does it technically count as blood?
That was what he was looking for. And you see Mako
What's
just
the
shake
red
his
stuff?
head.
Oh.
Your turn, Vex.
Out of character, I would like to know if it is against the rules to grapple her with my tail and throw her against the wall.
It is not.
Okay, I'm going to attempt that.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So here's what you're gonna do. Again, you're just moving in to close the distance. I need you to roll an athletics check because you're trying to grapple her.
Mm-hmm.
She gets to roll athletics or acrobatics, her choice, to resist.
Damn.
Unfortunately, she rolled a 14 naturally, plus 5 to her strength rolls, so that's 19.
Oh well.
So again, you go to grab her, and this time she's a little wiser to it. The first time it clearly caught her off guard, so she just punches your tail, and you pull it back. But you do have a bonus action. Let's see. I think technically, if you wanted to try, nope, that's an action. That's a reaction. Nope, that's an action. All right, there's no special actions, unfortunately, that you can do just this turn. I was looking to see if you could probably do a toss or tackle, but they require
The
actual
flip of the
actions.
tail.
Yeah. Do you have a bonus action that you would like to use? Do keep in mind, she didn't say no magic. She didn't say, no abilities. She only said
No
that
weapon.
she wasn't using a weapon.
Blinding spite on your.
So that means that
Technically.
maybe she could use the same.
Hold on, you can smite on your unarmed attack, can you?
No, you cannot smite on.
No, you cannot.
attack.
Yeah,
It
you cannot
requires a
because
weapon.
monks. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a weapon.
There's a reason why. You could do that if you were a warlock.
But
Warlocks can.
is there any
unarmed smite.
bonus action as a paladin that you would like to try? I don't know all of your bonus actions that you have yet. If not, that's okay too.
Shield of Faith.
I like it. Okay, Shimmering Field is around you, obviously, granting a +2 AC. Okay. So your AC is now back at 19? All right. She just kind of smirks at you. I like it. Let's play for the keeps then. And on her turn, you watch as she pounds her fists together and just
I'm
as she enters rage.
Oh god, she's multi.
Barbarian.
Oh god, she multi.
Yeah, she did. There's only 3 people on Mako's crew who are not multi-classed.
That is a reckless attack, my friend.
You better start crying.
So, just for the record, I have never, ever used reckless attack.
Have fun.
That is more of a bad idea than a good one.
Reckless
go
attack is
broke.
amazing. If you kill the person, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but the likelihood of that happening is 0. But anyway.
Statistically
Make her-
speaking, it is higher than it is not, especially in a fist fight.
So now that she's raging, couple things. One, she has strength on strength-based checks. Let me make sure I'm telling you this correctly.
And I advantage on strength checks and saves.
Yep.
Yes, she does.
Strength checks
And I believe she has a
saves.
+2 to damage.
She does have a +2 to
Ouch.
damage, but she also has resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing.
Yep.
Yep.
And then
Also-
depending on what kind of barbarian she is.
Unfortunately, she only has 1 level in.
When I look
In
at
Barbarian.
myself,
Mm.
sometimes I don't
But so she
recognize
only gets
myself.
rage and unarmored defense, which, you notice, Vex, that she's still wearing armor. So clearly she's not dexterous. You probably have the edge on her in dex.
She's wearing armor, and that armor is metal.
It is metal and leather. She's wearing a little bit
Oh.
of everything.
Oh no, Vex really
Here.
discovered his polarity channel.
Punch her here, in between the nose and the mouth. You just need some blood.
But she is not wearing a helmet. That is one thing. She is just not wearing a helmet. And so as
Here.
Laura will never actually.
He
As
is,
she
he
closes
is
in
wearing
now-
gauntlet.
she closes in now, and you watch as she begins to. As she rages, her body just seems to move a little faster, and she seems to just be a little more swole. So she runs in now, and she's going to punch at you again in the stomach. Doesn't hit, and you watch as her fist glances off of your shimmering shield, and she just "Arr!" and throws another fist at you. 17 still doesn't hit, and she just and
Looks silly for not using reckless, huh?
she's
That's
also
her
level
turn.
1. She doesn't have reckless,
I know.
but anyway. So she
I'm
missed
just-
you both times thanks to your shield, and go ahead there,
Thanks
Vex.
to shielding.
Hmm?
Bonus action polarize.
Nice. And for our guests at home, please go ahead and read what that does.
As a bonus action, you are suffused with divine energy, granting you a number of polarity charges. Yada, yada, yada. When you are attacked with a metal weapon, you can use your reaction to spend a polarity charge. Roll 1d6 and add the number rolled to your AC against the attack. As a bonus action, you can spend a polarity charge, roll 1d6, and add the result to both your next attack and damage roll.
Alrighty. You can use it after the creature makes its roll. As a bonus.
And it's equal to my divine sense, if I'm not mistaken.
That is
No,
correct.
charisma.
Polarity charge is equal to your
modifier.
charisma modifier. Yeah.
So I have 4 charges that I can do this with.
Yes, you can. Alright.
And that's
Discovery Paladins. They're pretty.
So whatever I roll with an additional 5.
Nice.
23.
23 will hit.
And this will go to the damage as well, right?
It does go to damage.
It does.
Ooh,
And
So
that's 10.
that would be a straight 5 because they're resistant to bludgeoning at the moment.
Unless, of course, they give ground.
she doesn't give ground. So the bludgeoning
I
damage
like
is reduced to 2. The electric damage isn't reduced at all, so it's reduced to 7 instead of 10. And she is still standing.
Okay, I'm
As
still standing.
As she feels that electricity and she looks down at herself. Also, by the way, thank you, Critical Role, for your amazing Paladin class. Or no, wait, this is actually the... this is the one from this game, isn't it?
This is the Vodari one. This is the Vodari
Oh,
one.
yes.
It
Open
is- it's the
Discovery is
Vodari one.
Vodari. Sorry, I'm
gonna
thinking
say-
Way of the Open Sea for some reason.
Which is way cooler, in my opinion, but still.
I like Oath of Discovery. This is a great oath.
I like the open sea much better.
No, Open Sea
You
isn't
get a
bad,
tough
but
thing
this
to-
Well,
is by
ding
far-
dong, your opinion's wrong. Don't be here then.
Anyway,
It's not wrong.
so
It's an opinion.
she sees the lightning just coursing over her, and she just and hauls off to hit you. And so, first attack, miss. Second attack, miss. She's going to Action Surge, so she gets 2 more attacks. And that last one will hit. Out of 4 attacks, she only hit you once. And so that's
You're
a
lucky, dude.
D4
Very lucky.
plus 7.
Caster's OP.
So, Vex, as you shocked her and she just comes up at you, bah, 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 and clearly your shield blocks it. She just gets so frustrated that she actually jumps and uppercuts you as she cracks your jaws together, and you can feel a couple of your teeth crack, and Sandian just, that's it! As if she needs to reduce you to 17, she just did you 11 points of damage.
If I reduce that, if I give ground on that, I think I
If you give ground on that, you have to roll a 6.
Yeah.
Or it's enough to bring you to 0.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Oh my god.
Actually, no, wait. 11 minus 5, 6. Yeah, so you'd have to roll a 6.
Oh, this is the fucking gamble.
Do it.
Go unconscious or roll a 6 out of a d6.
Well, he's not unconscious, he's just at half health. But you certainly may give ground, if you so choose.
Don't let me down, Vex.
I'm gonna try.
Alright, so roll 1d6.
Yeah, no.
No.
Damn! I was so stoked! I was like, come
You let
on!
me down. You let me down, Valor.
Like, turn this shit around, man.
I wish there was something I could do as a reaction that would.
That was it. The giving ground was the reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
He
you-
wishes
you
there was
could've
something he could do to hurt her back.
Yeah, you could have polarized, but she's not attacking with a metal weapon, so.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is
Her
the
whole
catch.
body's
She's
metal.
not attacking with a weapon. It specifically says weapon.
She is the weapon.
Her fists are not. She's
She
not even
is
wearing
the
gauntlets. So, at that point, Sandian steps in. Enough! And he looks over at you. Captain! Oh, right. Marcy, excuse me.
I'm fine.
Heroes never die.
I'm fine. Just.
Who's
just
Marcy?
You did your best, Valor.
Emmy actually walks over to you, though, and she holds out her hand.
Okay.
And you
I have a
notice that...
question.
Yes? Yes, Nia?
Was there blood involved?
Yes, there is.
Just cracked her fucking teeth.
Oh shit.
A couple of
Well,
Valor's
that's
teeth
not
are
too
broken.
fun. Okay.
Yeah, well, I can just punch myself in the face with
Leon hands.
hands
Just
and
punch himself in the face.
Call you a harnessist. But so, Emmy actually approaches you, Valor, and she holds up her hand. For good there, Snake Man.
I guess I have to respect that troglodyte now, don't I?
We cannot answer his knockoff.
You did
Your
good,
mouth is
Valor.
bleeding.
No, he's not knocked out. He's just
Oh no?
injured.
Okay.
It's
okay.
not
Yeah,
to
it was
knock
still
out.
half health.
Yeah.
He's gonna go
Valor,
give
next time.
But so, I love
Much
the
love.
rewind tone, the rewind voice.
We'll get you a rematch.
She nods her head and she looks at you and says, "Look at it this way. You're a Marine, right?
Yeah.
You and I, we were officers once. Well, soldiers once. Look, we didn't always like the cunt we were taking orders from. But,
Still don't like people.
but we took orders from him, and when it worked well, we killed the guys, we made the money, and we came home. When it didn't
I'm
work
not a
out
pirate.
well, the guy on top, he ended up dead.
Believe me, most of his plans don't work out well. That's why I don't like him.
You're on a
Everyone has
ship
worked
that
out
you
well.
don't own. You had to have killed Taggart. That prick.
Killed him.
That was the siren that did
The
that.
point is
The
as
siren
a
in the background
crew-
waving.
as a
Hi, I
crew,
blew his brains out.
you're on the other ship. As a crew, you killed a pirate captain who needed to die. You out in the middle of nowhere. I don't even know why you're out here, but I trust it was to get treasure or a haul somewhere. And then you got a place to sleep and a place to travel, and you're on a ship, lad. You could be fucking landlocked and fucking stuck on the land like some poor landlubber. It's not all bad. Now look, your captain's gonna need a strong, sturdy set of shoulders that he knows he can rely on when he fucks up. I seen your crew. The elf can't do it. The pretty one, she very pretty, and I'm gonna go talk to her, and maybe her and I can have a good time. But
I love lesbians.
the water boy, the fish boy, he's a fish. What's he know? And then your captain is more girly than the girl.
Yeah.
You're the only one with the strong shoulders to carry this crew on your back, lad.
Believe me, I really wish you were lying, but I nearly died 3 times for that prick.
So listen here. So long as you're getting paid, so long as you're getting fed, and so long as you're not immediately dying, is it really that bad?
Yes.
You ain't got your head on right, lad.
Neither does he, but you don't see me having to follow his orders very often, do you?
Well, him having to follow your orders, I think you meant?
No.
Well, listen, I tell you what. Just think about it. And at the very least, while I'm around, respect him to his face, huh? And don't badmouth your captain at every opportunity. Because if nothing else, it'll teach you a good lesson to go when you go to your next ship of coal. Now, I'm gonna go talk to a pretty lady and see how I do. Wish me luck there, champ. And she claps you on the side as she walks over to Niafta. So, enjoy the fight?
She is thinking she will never recover financially from
I
that.
was hoping for come
It
here
was
often. Not
painful.
gonna lie.
Nah.
Here, you could at least fix my armor before you go off and try to get lucky.
Hey, come here often.
You watch as Becca walks up behind you, Valor. I'll take care of your armor if you'll take it off. And
Wink. Just find out if there's 2 or 1.
and Emmy just looks at you, Niafta. No, it's not painful at all. I gave him just some love taps. He'll be fine. As for me, he hits like a goyle.
I'm talking for my pocket.
How close was I to actually beating her?
So in her defense, she had 52 hit points. You had to get her under 25. You got her to 11.
You didn't even get half, Boyle.
Yeah, he did. She was at
Oh,
25.
did he get half?
She had to get under 25. She was at 11.
Mm-hmm.
If he had one more good hit with Polarize, that could have sucked.
Yep.
And don't forget, she wasted 2 rounds doing nothing. And he got to catch up.
Yeah.
I also wasted 2 rounds not being able to
trying to grapple her.
Yeah. If I had hit her every round, I probably would have done her in.
Probably.
I will say this. I could have put her below 25 in 1 round.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Alright, mister, I have spells.
He had spells? Wait a minute.
If I was allowed to use my spells...
You did.
You were.
You were.
Well, I only used 1. If I was allowed to use, any of my smites, she wouldn't have lasted.
You were.
She would... No, I wasn't.
He had
you need a weapon. Smite.
You need a weapon.
He needed a weapon.
Unfortunately...
Listen, I'm eating Go-Gurt with a really weird unicorn on it, okay? Gotta give me some time.
But anyway, so...
Yeah, yes, I am taking off my armor, but thankfully I wear an undershirt.
You're a snake! What's it matter?
Right?
Well, I don't walk around with a shirt regardless.
Fair enough.
Where you hear Reeve being like, "We're still wondering if he has 2 dicks or not.
You're not
I
gonna
have
find
a
out.
going.
We just know one isn't named Joey."
I have a going bet. It's too easy.
But so,
Yeah, scientifically there
Niafta,
should be 2.
So Niafta, as you say that, it hurts your coin pouch.
Economy.
Yeah. She goes, "Oh, I'll tell you what," and she flicks you a gold coin, and then she pulls up a wineskin, and you can actually see her shake it, and you can hear it slosh around. "I'll give you the gold, and I'll give you some wine in exchange for your lovely toy."
Oh, well, can I discuss that?
I mean, just a talk. You're the prettiest thing I've seen that's unattached. I'm assuming, unless there's a mister.
Oh, I
Or
see you now.
miss.
Ah,
Sure, of course.
Oh my god.
Name the note that I sing to you.
Oh, I'd love you to sing to me. And she hands you the gold, she hands you the wineskin, and she wraps her arm, because she's a dwarf and you're a tiefling, she wraps her arm around your waist and actually guides you off towards your cabin. She doesn't know, she just happened to pick the first door she saw. And,
You're gonna defile our ship. God damn it.
well, that's actually up to
like-
Niafta. How
Read
far
the
Niafta
end.
wants to
Defile our
go is
ship.
up to Niafta. But
Tugging
Yeah.
themselves a shirt being like, "Yo, she got a better job than you do."
She's got better game than Zell does.
she's got better game than all of you do. Except maybe Niafta.
Fair.
Wait, why? Cell doesn't even try to have game. What?
Exactly!
Cell,
That's
Cell,
the point.
Cell literally gets anxious and freaks out whenever anything happens. So
Thought you were a stripper in your past life.
you do
You
not
have
know
the
that.
body for it.
You do not know this. I mean,
I did. You look like it.
maybe ask some game. Some.
But so, Emmy and Niafta adjourn to Niafta's room, and Niafta, if all you do is sing to her, Emmy is loving it. She is just a kitten in the cream. If you get
One of my languages.
there you go. And Emmy considers that
Striptease.
time well spent, and really doesn't push for anything else, doesn't ask for anything else, and is just completely content with your company. Meanwhile, on deck,
The official national animal of Scotland is the unicorn.
That is so cute.
it doesn't surprise me.
I've seen it actually. I have
In the
pictures of actual airline shields that have the unicorn on it.
Yeah, here's a
been
unicorn
there.
with a flannel scarf on. Thank you.
Yeah,
God damn
yeah.
it.
You get your 3 copper.
Who gets the siren scale?
Mako
I
just
didn't really
takes the
bet on
scale.
anybody.
You get the siren
Okay.
scale.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
I'll just put it back, and you just hear a weird. Okay.
Somebody told Tiny Sensei that this is just business, okay? I don't want him to grow some hard feelings on me.
Tell,
But Emmy
tell
was
who?
female.
Tell who?
Tiny Sensei,
Tiny
my
sensei. Cade.
Kate.
Oh, Kate is Tiny Sensei. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
knew exactly who she was talking about when she said it. I thought that was great. Now. But so, Valor, as you're sitting and Becca just kind of gestures for you to like kind of coil up and sit next to her as she takes out some tools, and you watch as she just takes a little. It's a round metal, like almost like a handguard, and she just takes your armor and bop, and smooths out the dents and just puts them back normal, and then just takes some time to clean your armor. And she looks at you. You know, she did that all kinds of wrong, but she is trying to help both you and your captain.
Start with the captain. Get to me later.
Well, that's what Mako's going to do.
Oh, lovely.
But a captain can't run a ship if he's got crew who aren't on board with him. Think of it this way.
To be honest, I was on board with I was on board the ship with Mags just for the trip initially. I don't know if I'll stay.
Well, I think you should. You got the legs for it, got the guts for it, got the grit for it.
Sorry, did
I don't
you
think
say
he
the
has the
legs
legs.
to it for a
I don't think he
snake?
has the legs.
I got legs.
And
No,
she
you
just
don't?
I look down. I'm like, when the fuck did I get legs?
she just looks at you and smirks. You know what I meant. It's a figure of speech. You seem to
Maybe
have.
you have this tiny tool, you know where.
He's not the brightest of the bunch.
But she just shakes her head. You know what I meant. It's a figure of speech. It means you're good out here. I've seen the way you use that tail. I imagine you can climb and swim, can't you?
Yes.
Ooh.
How many
Show
of
us
this?
how you use that tail.
Down
Yeah,
the Yeah,
She's-
that girl. Down.
She is literally the bard. This is what she's supposed to do.
Yeah, I pick up some of the slack, but I'm not there. So.
But
I
anyway,
just call it out as it is.
but getting back to it,
Mm.
she just. I don't know any of your crew who can.
You see it right now.
I don't know any of your crew who can actually climb just on their natural skill. You've got some skill out here, and besides, you've seen our chief engineer. He's a grindy low. I mean, and not the nicest thing you ever met. And believe me, he doesn't care for Mako at all. But without him, the ship falls apart, and he knows it.
Yo,
And Mako knows
don't
it.
say that in front of Emil. You're gonna hurt his feelings.
She was talking about Gizmo.
Yeah.
Dick.
She's like, look, if you want to stay, if you don't want to stay, then don't stay. I'm not going to tell you. But don't stay on land. At least get back on another ship. But you know what? I think this life would suit you better than you think.
I
And she
don't
hands
want
you-
to be a-
She hands you your armor that looks better than the day you bought it. Or we're giving it to you. We're giving it.
Look, thank you for the sentiment, but I don't wish to be a pirate. I
Privateer.
say privateer, pirates, it's the same thing.
It isn't, though. Because pirates are what people like Taggart are. They're a lawless bunch of animals who every once in a while need some culling. A privateer is what I am. I am a legal soldier in an army. A guerrilla army that may be, but I am still a soldier. I am still accountable for me actions. Though granted, all's fair in love and war. And go ahead, Valor, and roll a history check with advantage.
Natural 20?
I'm so glad you rolled a nat 20 for this. So you know that the first pirates. Wait, I think I'm getting some echo on your end. I think I could be wrong. Valor, you know that the first pirates were actually soldiers who had been either cast out, dishonorably discharged, or accused of a crime that they may or may not have committed, but were never tried. Also, a lot of them were simply soldiers who, when the war ended, they couldn't adapt to civilian life. And that's where a lot of the first pirates came from. Now, unfortunately, a lot of pirates since then have become scourge and, sea dogs and, mongrels. However, privateers are still very much these alternate forces, these guerrilla forces who can't function in a traditional military like you could in the Marines or like, Emmy could in the Army. They couldn't follow orders. They couldn't stand in lines and do the marching and do all that hogwash. But they still wanted to fight for their country or their home and still wanted to perform and provide a service. So what they did was they became privateers, where their rules and regulations are more lax. Basically, it's so long as you're attacking our enemy, anything you do is fair game. Mm-hmm. But you still have to obey the laws of our nation. And so that's where the career of privateering first came. And again, they're guerrilla or auxiliary forces, but they are still overseen by the military, by the various countries' military leaders. And so you do know that what she's saying tracks. As a Marine, you have worked you have worked with privateers, in big naval engagements. As a Marine, you would have been in naval engagements from time to time. So you have worked with privateers. There is a difference.
Knowing that,
the difference is thin, though.
I guess the better way of saying it is, I don't want to be led by a pirate.
And that is fair. So in that case, what I'd suggest is, sorry, I forgot I was not doing Emmy anymore. I was doing Becca. What I'd suggest,
Whatever.
yeah, right. What I'd suggest is you take that up with your captain and tell him that you would like to be officially recognized as privateers, and that if he is officially recognized as a privateer, that then you will sail under him. Otherwise, you won't. I think your captain is actually willing to do that. Now, someone like Taggart or Mags may not be, because, to be honest, Mags is privateer in name only. But she's not a bad person. She's
still a better captain than Sel.
Well, that may be, but she's also had 20 more years at it than he has.
You mean, yeah. Literally.
She got my gender right. Oh my god.
So, you have to at least account for some transitional period. And besides, you can't expect your captain to get better if you're not willing to help him get better.
One way of looking at it.
It's at this point you hear the clack, clack, clack of high heels. And you turn and look as a human woman with a white doctor's coat, a big red cross on the back of it, a red cross on the sides of it, and a red badge. You clearly know a medic when you see one.
I dip. I'm like, nope!
You try to dip. I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Medic with stunning high heels.
Person.
That's a 4. That's a 4. I'm not going anywhere.
You try to move and you're like, and you see she's holding a wand. And she goes, "You're my patient, stop it." And
No, damn it!
You can
Oh,
still
you're
talk.
her patient, all right.
She simply walks over to you and she pulls out a healing potion and just shakes it up. And she's just, of all the things pirates and your and she just grabs your face and like pours the potion on your head.
Please don't. This will hit your.
I love the spontaneous dumps up situations.
Great. Now I have to relocate.
She grabs your jaw, squeezes it, and you actually feel it dislocate. And then she just simply squeezes it back in place and snaps it back perfectly. It feels a lot better than it did after that uppercut. And then she opens your mouth, looks at your teeth, taps a few of them, and the healing potion has done its job. You are now at full hit points again. And she goes, she simply looks at you.
What's the medic's name?
No one knows.
I've been really
Actually, no.
trying, baby.
You heard Mako call out Marcy or Mercy.
Trying for so
What about
long.
Mercy?
Please tell me she's German. Please tell me she's German.
She's Swiss.
It wants to be done by a German.
Right? No. Mercy is Swiss. Wait a minute.
I don't know Overwatch, okay?
But no, Marcy, just simply looks at you. You're fine, and slaps your cheek.
Ow.
Don't be baby.
Get back to your job.
He likes that.
Don't be baby. My husband has no leg and no arm, and he doesn't cry as much. Don't be baby.
Oh, he's Russian. I love it.
Do I look like I'm crying to you?
Threesome option. I like it.
She actually
No.
grabs your.
I'm crying to you.
She grabs your face and puts her thumbs right under your eyes, and you can see her long nails are like less than a few centimeters from your eyes. Do you want to be crying?
Nah.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
In Mother Russia, Marcy, they kill you.
Marcy, kill you.
Yes, please,
you
mommy.
gotta kind of just see my fangs drip a little. Do you want to be poisoned?
I'm immune to most poisons. Go ahead, try. I dare you. I
No.
double dare
So-
you.
I'm immune to all poisons.
How
Good.
dare you?
So I won't feel bad when I poison your lunch. Becca just kind of Marcy, he is an ally, and that was kind of our bad. And she just kind of brushes her fingers in Becca's face, like right here. And Becca just, now, where's other patient? And
Having
Becca
a good
just
time with the bar.
You just see me smirk. I'm like, I'm about to ruin this woman's whole career. She's trying to get lucky with the bard.
Oh,
Hubba,
good for
hubba.
her. She needs good lay. And she walks off towards the door. As she does, though, she gets to the door and Spartan kicks it open.
That's what I wanted.
I might need some assistance.
You
You know
and
what I
Emmy
mean?
are in the room, and the door just is smashed open, and you see a black high-heeled leather boot, and you see this woman in all white medic outfit. Emmy jumps and is like ready to fight, and then, oh, hi, Doc. How you doing?
Is it canon that everyone on that ship is afraid of Marcy?
Marcy looks at you, Nyafta. You're a very pretty girl. Has anyone told you?
I've heard a couple of times, but I appreciate you.
You! And she reaches out and grabs Emmy by the shoulder, brings her in, pulls out a healing potion, and just pours it in her face.
Please dominate me.
And you
Right.
watch as all of Emmy's wounds heal up, and she just... You know better. You guest on ship and you attack ship driver. What is wrong with you?
Ship driver.
And,
Mother Locha proud.
and you see, he was talking smack on his comm. I can't just... That's none of your business. Next time, I leave you to hurt. And then you learn.
Oh, she's
Why
fine,
can I
she's
use the USSRF?
I know.
I want to know where she's from now, where everyone speaks like a Russian.
Oh, what a
True.
wonderful way to die.
What is Vodari's version of Russia?
I don't know, maybe she's from Ukraine or from Latvia, or from, all this.
I think
Sounds sort of Lebanese, not gonna lie.
I kind of do.
the only place that sounds like Russian is like Arishi or.
No, she's from Iceland. Iceland.
I'm about to say, I don't know. The Lebanese
From
actually
Ice Cream
talk
Land?
very similar.
She's from. Yeah, Iceland. I can see Iceland.
I mean, she could be from
Ice
anywhere
cream
up here.
land? Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, she
Maybe
just...
it's not the same world, so it's some random place that just sounds similar.
She come from a distant plane of Earth.
She come
From a land
down
called
under.
Russia.
Actually comes from Russia.
I mean, technically she could.
Russia.
But, I mean, you never know. Anyway, so she then looks to the two of you. Enjoy evening. I go now. I have daughter.
Sure.
What?
And she...
Yes, if you don't mind, next time just knock the door.
Knocking is for women.
Okay.
I knock. Wait a minute.
And apparently, knocking is for women. You have no idea what she means.
Okay, so
I'm
she's
also
another
not
failed
there,
fool.
but
She got both parts. I'm all for it.
But she...
I'm ready.
I can just hear Phil going like after that sentence. Knock knock. Wait a minute.
But she walks out, and as she does, Emmy just... and sinks down like if she was a cartoon, she'd have turned into a puddle. As she just flops down on the bed. Please sing me a sweet song of the sea. She says, looking at you and pulling out a gold coin.
There I
And
go.
so Reeve, Xavier, and Cell, as you didn't see Marcy get on the other ship, because she kind of appeared like 10 feet from Valor.
Okay.
But you do see as she walks towards the railing, she clicks her heels once and is on the other ship.
Whoa.
And she just
Wow, these people is advanced.
Oh, all right then.
she
Whoa,
just
you teleported, ma'am.
Is that a
I
special
have
item?
boots.
Oh, those
That's
are the
really
best.
cool.
Oh shit! What kind of boots?
They are my boots. And she
But how do they do the thing?
She simply walks away as she says, "They are my boots." She walks away and
Right.
I wasn't trying
I'm
to take
ready
her
to wear the
boots. I just
dunta and
wanna...
the stool, and she can have the paddle any day. Just saying.
Mako just shakes his head. You know, she wasn't always like this. She was more like a lovely grandmother that everybody liked. We had a falling out with Black Rose.
She's a babushka. She's a babushka.
She was.
What did they-
Now she's more of Russian assassin babushka.
She's Darth.
I'm ready.
She's
Oh,
Darth
shit.
Babushka.
Yes, Darth babushka. That is her now. I'm sorry. That's canon. She is now. I'm now gonna put that under her nicknames, Darth babushka.
Darth Babushka.
That is a thing that's happening.
How does she heal you? By using force. How does she heal you by using force?
Please tell me she's got a red. Does she have a red wand? Because I'm pretty sure it's the only way that would work.
She
Darth.
could, and you don't know. Darth
Ooh. I'll put both me and Blazer writing it down.
To all of my native Russian speakers and native Russian spellers, I'm very sorry for my shitty attempt at writing in your language, but you know what? I'm American. I make no apologies.
To all Russians, I love your voice. You sound so sexy, and please step on me.
Nani?
I second that notion, yeah.
Okay, before I get age docs!
Supreme.
Monetized months ago.
By the way, Blaze, mate, you got raided.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh shit, they just heard me say that.
Of course they did. This is on the internet.
Damn right.
We got rated? We are rated R?
I
So
like
what
rated.
rated means is after someone
What's
finishes
the
a
problem with
stream,
being rated
they
if
bring all
actually
the
other
group
people's the one
to
that
another
pays?
person's stream.
Yep.
Just saying.
Well, wait, is
I
she
don't know.
always
So-
abrasive?
But anyway, actually, Mako shakes his head. She wasn't always, but when we fell out with the Black Rose and her husband stayed with Rose, yeah, that didn't go over well.
You know, I
Oh,
can. Yeah.
Trouble with the mister. Got it. Okay.
You could say that.
Monogamy. It's so weird. I
Anyway.
mean, people are weird.
That was a spicy watch.
And yeah, you can keep the 3 copper, I guess.
Alright. Your paladin friend is actually quite impressive. I thought that would have been
Yeah.
over very quick.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he's really
yeah.
good. I wouldn't have anyone on my ship that isn't typically really good at their job.
You have yourself on board.
I am really good at my job.
Mako
you now?
actually points at you, Reeve.
Hey.
We're not gonna do that on this ship.
Oh, sorry. I like to tease.
I think that's not a good idea on my ship in front of strangers and mixed company.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Rave. Just a thing, mate. You want if you want to talk shit, just keep it yourself, and then
But shit's not
bring it
coming
up.
out of my mouth.
I've told.
I speak
Excuse
in,
me.
I speak in sea shanty to her, to him, them. Sorry.
Fucking
I
Christ.
caught myself before you said anything. Okay.
Anyway,
Look. It just means that you're.
I know, I'm being a cuckadinia. I don't care. It's alright. I got it. I'll be
Being
good.
a
I'll be
peen, a little bit
better.
of a peen,
Yeah, a
And what are you trying to
cuckadinia.
say?
What?
Yeah, that.
Wait.
Okay, yeah,
Mako
sure.
just kind of
Yeah, that's it.
gestures to the ship. Anyway, focusing back, welcome to my my ship. This is the Freedom's Hand. It's my baby, and he actually does indeed take you along and show you everything. It's actually closer to a brigantine than a man of war. That's my apologies.
Whoa. Assassin's
Not
Creed
quite.
flag
Not quite.
references. Thank you.
Not quite. 5 to 6 levels, more like 4 to 3. Besides the top deck.
It does have 3 levels, but its gun deck is large. Here is the general kind of layout of the brigantine, of a standard brigantine, which everybody should be able to see.
Sorry to interrupt, but I will say again. You do have a little note from Xavier Valor for whenever.
I opened it a while ago. I didn't read it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
Before I got assaulted by the dwarf.
Oh, you did? Okay, I didn't hear you. Sorry. But so basically, what it said is, when I come back, I would like to talk to you. You're a good lad, and it'd be great if we could get along.
The one thing
for those of you on the stream that think I'm not getting along with everybody, I am actually good friends with everybody here.
Right. Everybody is just in character. Everybody is just in character. There's no actual player-on-player hostility. It is only character drama.
I swear.
I hate everybody, including myself, so we're all on even footing.
My girlfriend woke up to see the stream. Oh my.
Aww. That's so sweet.
Well, please don't cry.
Aww,
you precious
that's so
baby.
Sweet. But
hi, I'm secretly with your boyfriend.
What? Don't put that in the ether.
It was there.
Don't put that in the ether like that. But no, yes.
Oh, no.
Please, everybody. I actually enjoy that for the record. Is that everybody here are good friends. Character drama is character drama. You know, it happens all the time on Critical Role, and they're all amazing friends. And actually, I have to say that is one of my favorite parts about Critical Role Season 2 is the fight between Caleb and Jester over the money. Like, really early on. That was so cute, so heartbreaking, and just so amazing to watch. Anyway, back to this. So
I hope that's not like a spoiler or anything.
No, it isn't.
I never watched any of it.
You know, we will fix that.
I know.
You should start. It's funny.
I was told that, yeah.
It's absolutely gross. So
Really?
the couple of things you notice, where there would be a longboat on the brigantine, where you can see on the main deck, where there would be longboats, you see machinery.
Okay.
You see pipes, you see a giant wheel spinning, and it actually reaches below deck. And you see some other levers and doodads and a console at the other end where the second longboat would be, typically speaking.
Are there any actual enchantments outside of the machinery?
Not that you're seeing yet. And not that you'd have a chance to see at this point. I am using your passive
what's
perception.
another word for cool? Like a better word for cool. This is really cool.
Swell.
Swell.
Epic.
This is really cool. Swell.
Awesome.
You notice that the forecastle has a bunch of musket divots in its railing system, where somebody has actually gone and fastened muskets to these divots, and they all appear to be loaded and like ready to be fired. You probably just have to cock the hammer back and fire it. But I mean, they're all just kind of in place, ready to go.
That's quite smart.
Isn't that more of a hazard than it is a help?
Are you asking Mako?
Oh, no, absolutely. I'm asking Mako.
He actually shakes his head. No, because no one but one of the officers is allowed up there, and actually that's usually where Emmy stands.
Gunslinger type?
Huh?
If Emmy's on our ship,
Gunslinger
who's
type?
in charge?
Oh no, she's a cannoneer, but she's also the quartermaster, you could say. Although she also doubles
She's
as
a
the powder
human.
monkey.
It's been a long time since I've been in front of a human. I hope I do okay.
You're doing fine.
Okay, you're a fish.
And
I apologize, Captain. I am not as
eating them.
I apologize, Captain. I'm not as much of a sea person.
you're all right. You then notice that the stern castle, where the helm is, actually has 2 3-pound cannons on little stands to aim and be fired. They're small, they won't do a lot of damage, but they also reach a lot farther.
So 3 culverins, like, just, yeah.
Yeah, they're just, apparently, even in retreat, the ship can be annoying. The one driving the ship is a high elf. She is very clearly a high elf. She is dressed in a flowing brown skirt that reaches about mid-calf. She's dressed in bright purple, yellow, and blue silks. Very Esmeralda-esque attire. And she's got her hair pulled up in a flowing, loose braid going down her back. And her hair is a brilliant shade of red. And Mako, oh, this is Mistress Tina Williams, my navigator. And she just
Mr. or Mrs.
Mistress.
Mistress. Oh.
Wow.
She is
Not
my
like that.
navigator.
Not like that, I'm sure.
Oh no. She
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the other individuals.
And then he does show you around. He shows you the bow storage, which you see that it's sailcloth, it's nails, it's wood, it's extra rope. Basically anything to fix the ship outside is in here for easy, readily access. The main deck, again, as I said, the only thing really different here is the giant wheel that's moving in its metal housing and all these pipes that seem to go underneath it, and then the console. He does take you to his quarters, which are bigger than yours, but he also has a bigger ship. Except you notice that half of his quarters seem to be divided. So along that dividing line, out of the door, half of his room is a tinkerer's workshop. You see you see technological equipment, you see spare parts, you see a workbench with half-finished doodads that you have no idea what they're for. And I didn't have anywhere else to put to put Gizmo's, work area, so he works here.
So then are you guys, like, roommates?
Oh, no, he doesn't sleep here. He works here. Interrupting my sleep, but, So long as I can fly this ship, I really don't mind. The sleeping quarters are more these are all hammocks. However, it's clearly only meant for off-duty sailors. He clearly has a more set schedule. As you can see, he does have at least a full crew, if not a little bit more. Now, as you get to the gun deck below, you can go ahead and roll me. You can go ahead and roll me a Arcana check, Cell and Xavier, if you want to.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'll toss in an Arcana.
Brent, you can do that for me.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Nope.
Tell me
Damn,
what.
you're even a
Cell
gun
gets.
master too, gunslinger too.
10, and I got a 4.
Okay. These are 8-pounders, just pretty typical cannonballs. The one thing you do notice, Cell, looking at them, is that they are enchanted. You can see that they have runes carved into the barrels, into the stocks as well. And you can even see that they're like chained down a little bit and on like tracks, which is pretty typical. They all have their little groove. But the chains holding them to the track and to their firing port are magically enchanted. You're not sure how or what they do, but they are enchanted, and you can tell that.
So what'd you do to these? I point at them.
Made it possible to fire this ship while it's leaning.
So it doesn't knock the ship back?
That was a real trouble the first time we made a test flight on this test ship. And we didn't make it too far out of port when we discovered that little flaw.
Oh.
So
that
we
must
went.
have been scary.
Oh yeah, and he actually walks over and taps the ship, and you can actually see that the one whole side of the gun deck is all fresh wood, as opposed to the wood around it, and on the rest of the deck. Yeah, this whole wall got taken out by the cannons just flying through it.
Jesus.
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
Sounds about right, though.
Gizmo should have
alright.
warned somebody.
Oh yeah.
Probably,
you hear-
probably
you
an
hear-
issue with just not being anchored to anything or having any friction amongst the hull, right?
You hear?
Isn't
You
that
hear?
what happened to the albatross?
Definitely not.
Oh no, the main hull of the ship broke, right?
That isn't because we fired our own cannons and they broke free and tilted the ship in such a way that everything came loose because there was no friction in the air versus in the ocean. There's a lot to it.
Almost died.
That was just because it was a big storm.
Okay.
And he then leads you to an open door, and you can hear the sounds of sailors eating. And as you walk in, there is indeed sailors sitting there eating. One of whom is a halfling, and she is moving about the tables, pouring soup into bowls, serving out hardtack. And then you see a little girl. She's about 9, maybe 10, but she is really tall for a 9 or 10-year-old. As
Like
you
my
realize,
brother.
she's half Goliath.
Oh, that's the daughter. Okay.
And as Mako walks in, Sarah runs up to him, Captain, and wraps her arms around his waist. And he, oof! Sarah, good to see you. And he pats her head. This Captain Cell, Masters, Xavier and Reeve.
Xavier and Reeve are out. At your service.
I sort of like squat down a little bit. Not that it's needed much, but
I was gonna say her head's at almost your chest height.
right.
You're
I squat
pretty
down.
short.
It's a pleasure to meet you, young lady. What's your name again?
She looks at Mako and then straightens up. I'm Sarah Silver, daughter of John Silver and Marcy Silver. Pleasure.
It is a pleasure to meet you. I hold out my hand.
She looks at your hand, unsure of what to do with it, and then just like does a stiff like bow, and then walks
you shake
away.
it, honey. Okay.
Reeve does a little
Doesn't have
bow with
another
her.
accent, though. It would be lovely.
Cell sort of collects themselves, brushes their coat off, and stands up, fixing their hat.
And as she walks away, he just, she's a bit nervous around strangers. It's taken her some time to open up. But I mean,
Absolutely, I
hey, she's not
understand.
hiding, so easy
That's good.
peasy there.
We have the same age
For anyone that-
intelligence.
For anyone that actually has a high passive insight, does notice that Cell's sort of trying to mimic the stance and gait of
Mako.
the captain.
Mako.
Yeah.
And you then see the halfling, and they come over. You see a cutlass on their belt. Are we serving more? Because I only made so much. And Mako actually tilts his head. You mean you didn't have enough after we just looted that ship? And she goes, look here, Captain. And he just, I'm sorry I didn't inform you, but no, well, they'll be taking Emmy, Becca, and Sandy and share. And you see her relax. Oh, okay. I'm Jasmine, by the way. Jasmine Lightfoot. Pleased to meet ya.
Heard plenty
Nice
of
to
good
meet
things
you.
about you.
Oh, you better have.
This is, and I am overly dramatic about it, Captain Cell Bomba!
You don't need to make it that.
You
I-
see,
I-
He's a captain.
you see Jasmine smile. Ah, I remember those days. Mako was in much the same boat once upon a time, but that was 15 years ago, or was it 10? It was 12. Whatever. Time flies.
Somewhere
I'm
in between, I'm
just-
sure.
I'm taking the piss out of you, Captain, and I pat Saul on the back.
Is paying for the company.
Well,
Sensitive.
just make sure
entirely
that
out of character, by the way.
Just make sure that once you're done with the tour, you come back here, because otherwise you're not going to eat. Because once I close that door, there's no more food. Got it?
I can make food.
Loud and clear.
Good.
I catch fish.
You might be useful. And
Thank
then
you.
she walks across the table. Because again, she's a halfling, so she's small. She's the smallest person in here by far.
Here, then write that down. Okay.
She then.
I just want to mention I have more names in this one page than I do in the entire writing of this.
I believe it.
You
He's introducing a whole ass crew.
I am.
Damn fucking right.
Mako
he
then
is.
takes you down to the lower deck. Now you realize something here. This lower deck is actually in two parts. The first part is actually about head height with Mako and I think Xavier. You're pretty tall. Yeah?
Fuck 10.
No, you're not tall at all. Mako's standing at like 6'1". So.
Hey.
3 inches.
To White, that is
3
tall.
inches goes a long way. Just saying.
Oh, fuck off.
You would know that. You would know that, wouldn't you, Emil?
I would. Fuck off.
5'10" is tall. What are you
Anyway.
talking about?
It starts at head height and goes to the ceiling. There's a Kiton. And you notice that Gizmo is like scrambling over this improvised kind of wooden walkway. And you notice that there's actually another Grindylow down here working with him, and there's another gnome.
Hi, Gizmo.
Ah, you brought him here?
Yeah,
This
we're
is
getting
my
a
ship?
tour. We're getting a tour of the place.
Don't
You're
touch
doing
anything.
a really good job.
Absolutely wouldn't imagine touching anything. Can you show me what actually all this stuff does, though?
No!
Why not?
And you notice that this is where the pipes kind of end. And they all end at this broiler that has both a furnace and a billows connected to it. And you watch as the other Grindylow is actually feeding coal and some other substance you're not quite sure of. But it's a powder. And as he does, he kind of wraps it up and throws it into the fire. And kind of just waits for a second. And then the fire turns green. And it begins to burn hotter.
Can I make an attempt to make a persuasion check?
Xavier,
Not
what's that
say
stuff?
I can't imagine that that you get many people actually interested in your work or appreciate your genius.
You'd be surprised, and they all want to steal it, and I'm not about that.
So imagine stealing it.
Yeah, you know, when you have one of the only, is it the only flying ship around?
We haven't been to Port we haven't been to port in about a month and a half, 2 months, so I don't know if someone's already gotten it, but so far, when we left Port Zoleni, it was the only ship.
So, you know, having naval supremacy with flying fucking ships, of course everyone wants to fucking steal it.
The patent is mine! The patent is mine! I worked hard on this!
No.
This is my invention! I did it! Me!
No, that's what I mean. Everyone would want to fucking steal it to sell it to other people.
Honestly, I'm just really interested. It looks really interesting and really cool.
It is. But I made it, and it's mine.
Just say interesting.
God damn, that guy sounds like my little brother when he was like 4, and we wanted to give him a turn on the PlayStation.
Captain, Captain, I'm just gonna say, from the point of view of a tinkerer to another, we don't normally share what we do.
It's not like I'm actually gonna understand. I just wanted to hear your genius. That's all.
My genius is I put wings on a ship and I made it fly.
That's pretty cool.
I've noticed that.
and I just go, hell yeah, brother. And I hold up my hand for a knife five.
You see him slap your hand with one of his tentacles. Not in a high five kind of way, more of a get that shit away from me.
Just hope it wasn't let's just hope it wasn't the longer tentacle.
You are definitely more pleasant than some recent company, that's for sure.
Ouch.
That wasn't directed at you. That was directed at some asshole we blew his brains out.
You see him like bare his shark teeth. and he just kind of goes back to whatever he's working on. You see,
Nice
Right,
talking
can
with
we-
you.
Can we leave them back to their work before we get burned?
you see
I don't want to be stabbed.
You see the gnome drop down next to Mako's head from a little rail guard, and she kind of whispers into his ear. And he sighs. Great. I'm never going to hear the end of this. All right, where's Olivia? I haven't seen her since I got back on board. Where is she?
Shit.
Oh,
do I have
she's
Olivia
down there.
on here?
You don't.
You don't.
I'm gonna cry. I'm going to actually cry with all of these names. I'm awful with names. I can't even remember actors. People are like, "Oh, this person." I'm like, "Who? You don't know this person?" Like, oh.
I don't know actors by their names. I know them by their most famous role.
They'll say like Jim
Benedict
Carrey, and I'm like,
Cumbersnatch.
"No, who? Who?"
See, people
Benedict
say Jim Carrey, and
Cumbersnatch?
I see. The thing is that Jim Carrey is Jim Carrey. He doesn't act. He doesn't play any other part. He just is Jim Carrey.
He is Jim Carrey.
It's
He
kind of
is
like
Jim
how
Carrey.
Sean Connery works. He just is that
No,
role.
no,
I don't know
um,
who he is.
Nicholas
As is
Cage.
Johnny Depp.
Nicholas Cage is
and-
Nicholas Cage in
No,
every
Johnny
character.
Depp.
Also.
It's
A
Nicolas
little bit.
Cage, Johnny Depp. You know, those are those characters.
Nicholas
No,
Cage,
just-
Arnold
Right.
Schwarzenegger.
Liam Neeson.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Liam
Arnold
Neeson.
Schwarzenegger.
Like we could go through a list, and there's like 10
Dying.
actors that are just that actor.
Yeah.
I'll have
Well,
y'all know I'm dying over here.
I would argue that Paul Bettany is always Paul Bettany, but
I don't
Yeah.
know who that is.
Who?
But anyway,
Who bet me?
I don't know.
anyway,
he's
As-
a genius. You don't have to worry about it.
Back to game.
as she points, oh, she's over there. You know, it's, thanks, Jesse. And are you sure it'll take a week? He's saying at least a week.
Oh, wow, is that a character?
Mm-hmm. It's a rock gnome.
Okay. Okay, rock now.
And she's working as the assistant to Gizmo for now. You then notice that there's a robotic dog just kind of sitting and just looking up and just kind of watching.
So all these steampunk-like creations are the Grindelows' work?
Oh, no!
Rock
Well,
dog.
The dog is actually Jesse's
A
work.
steel defender, probably.
A steel defender.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or who's the gnome?
One, Jessie. She's the rock gnome. You should have her name. I have mentioned her
I
already.
do, but then you said a dog is Jesse.
No.
No,
the
the dog is
just there
Jesse's.
watching Jesse and
Is
belongs
with
to
Jesse.
Okay.
Xavier and Cell can both roll Arcana checks again.
Will
Much
do.
love. I feel dumb.
Any opportunity.
So
I mean,
he got a
luckily,
7.
I
am-
only have a very little bit of spells.
And I got a
I
14.
am on this.
You rolled a 7, my guy.
I know.
So
That's why I'm
He's
saying
on
I'm
there.
on it.
one thing you've noticed, Xavier,
Technically, I rolled a 4.
is
not a
most
7.
of this crew, if they have a position of medical, or if they're a tinkerer of some description, or if they're anything but a dedicated pirate, they're an artificer. Jesse is clearly an artificer. Marcy is clearly an artificer.
Gizmo.
Emmy could be, or not Emmy, Becca, she could be a gunslinger, but she doesn't look right for a gunslinger. You're pretty sure she's an artificer too.
Like with an arcane cannon. Yeah, she probably is not a tourist.
I mean, Vecca just give me Caitlyn vibes, just saying.
You notice that there's a lot of artificers on this ship.
Yeah, and I assume it's essential to keeping it fucking running.
Some of it very likely is. You're 100% sure that if Gizmo's not an artificer, then he is just a dedicated tinkerer. Then his whole life from egg to now has been tinkering. You're also not
Yeah.
sure how he would do that because Grindylow are deep sea creatures. And you're not
Also,
quite sure about anything that
eggs?
could build something that far down.
All fish come from eggs. I came
Wait,
from
hold
an
up.
egg.
We're sponsored by the thing that he
Sponsored
came out
by
of?
eggs.
Yes, we're sponsored by eggs. Shut up, Nikki.
Right. And
By the way,
I'm
Bearded
just
Bard,
like,
if you're watching, I will not accept any payment in form of
I
monetary gain.
apologize. I will
I'm sorry,
apologize.
I won't do that.
Spotlight over there. You know what I'm saying?
And no, Xavier's just like not looking at the contraptions, not looking at anything, but he's just going on his book and writing about the crew, and writing about the crew, writing about there's a lot of artifices here, just documenting his stay.
Reeve's just having a happy time.
But then
He's literally here mainly because Xavier's here.
I get you. But then then he goes, "Oh, come on, we gotta go see Olivia."
Who's Olivia?
You're good. You're good, Laura.
Okay.
Olivia was the one that you had to write down, and you were crying about it.
All I have right now is Olivia, and that's it.
So you see, yep.
In the name
you see
list.
a woman.
Woman.
She is deep. She has deep blue skin and has a slightly
I love it.
incorporeal look about her. As she turns around, and you realize she's actually human. And then you realize something else. She's dead. But she's still living. And this
I'm dead.
is
You
Olivia.
would say undead.
I don't know, it
But
sounds like unliving to me.
she's taking notes on a clipboard. And you also watch as every now and then these traces of runic designs just glow over her body. And as she turns around, "Oh, Captain. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Good to see you." And Mako just rolls his eyes. "Do you have to make that joke every time I see you?"
It's not valid unless you stand on a desk.
"And who are you?"
This is Sal. He's our captain of our ship.
Welcome, Captain Cell, to the Freedom's Hand. I am Olivia.
Didn't put
Hold
enough room for her last name. I'm about to cry.
I'm Olivia Soldana.
Soldana.
I am the first mate of this ship, and me and the council welcome you.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Olivia. I can call you Olivia, right? That's not.
If you so desire.
It makes it easier on me, yes.
She shrugs.
Hi. You have
I-
runes on your arm. Are those tattoos?
Kind of. They are a marking of my patron, the council.
That's
By
really
the
cool.
way, Emil, I think she's a cursed soul. If you want to put it in parentheses. In question mark.
Soul count a part of the council. I hold out my hand to shake her hand.
And she simply just kind of pulls her hand away. "I'm sorry, I don't do that anymore."
Why is that?
"That's how I died," she says as she shows you a black spot on her hand.
Oh,
I
bloody
saw
hell.
black
What
spot
gave you
on
that?
hand.
I switched to my left
Right.
hand, and this would probably work better, yes?
From
No, I don't want to risk getting a second one.
Bloody hell, what gave you that?
Black spot.
A man.
Did he have a split for a head?
Hey, Xavier. It's really rude to ask someone how they died.
How many times
Well,
have you asked people how they died?
I
Too many to
apologize.
count.
I
I'm
apologize,
actually
and
more
I don't want
curious
to.
how many people answered you.
That's another question.
Thing, I apologize, and I don't want to be rude, but she clearly isn't.
I'm
You
dead.
just said that's how she died.
and you
Yeah, but
asked
apparent-
how.
Yeah, come on, keep up.
That's rude.
She is still.
I'm about to say, people have died more than once, I'm sure. It's a normal occurrence. Typically?
Miss Tyron, I made a lot of those.
Want to tell us
Especially when I was a
something,
kid.
Sal?
Oh, he's definitely
No.
died before.
I died on the
Oh,
inside a
has
little
he
bit.
now?
Oh, I'm willing to bet. No one who hasn't died at least once makes that comment.
Get to fucking know. As I give Sal the look of, oh boy, we're gonna have a conversation.
I've told you I've died.
So
Yeah,
what
but he didn't give me the details.
You felt
Not all of them.
She
Not all of them.
She just kind of looks at Mako. "So what are they doing here?" "They are
We're
our
giving
guests.
a tour.
They are our guests while we get to Port Zavo. We were headed for Port Zeleni." Mags has asked us to deliver her and these fine folk to Port Zavo.
The other thing, how do you know, Matt? You know, we'll talk about that later.
Me and Mags were on the Black Rose together. We were shipmates. In fact, she was the third woman to fuck me on that ship.
Literally or figuratively?
Please answer that
Literally.
question. Oh, damn!
Oh.
Not
damn.
both?
You player.
No, I'm not. You see, when I first joined the Black Rose, well, let's just say that it's a ship of all women except for 3 of us. It was me, Mr. Silver, and Mr. Sandian. And we didn't have a say in yay or nay.
Oh, bloody hell.
First was Marcy, second was the Beast, third was Mags. Fourth would be the captain. And, yeah, kind of went on from there. I didn't stay
you
very
said
long.
The
But
captain didn't have the number one say?
I'm sorry, out of character. You said all women, but
Oh, you
Marcy,
meant
Except for Faith.
Mag,
sex. Okay.
herself, good, just said to say, but they're women, and he says all women. You say all women, but 3 women. So is
No,
it
no, no,
also
no.
All women but 3. There
All-
was Sandian, himself, and another dude.
That were men.
So Olivia's a male.
No. Okay, so
No.
here's what I said, Emil. Here's what I said, Emil. Just take a note.
I'm
This is
listening.
entirely in character, by the way. Do it in character, please.
Mako, Sandian, and Silver.
Have we met Silver yet?
He
No,
said
we will-
Mr. Silver.
Okay.
So, no, you haven't met Mr. Silver yet.
Alright, I thought Olivia said herself, and I go.
It wasn't Olivia talking, it was Mako.
Yes.
It sounds like more of an Amazonian thing, and I'm not all about that.
thought it was Olivia talking.
I do say this, whispering to Xavier. It sounds like more of an Amazonian thing, and I'm not all about that.
My head went through my snoo snoo.
I was going to say, that's exactly where my head went to. I heard Amazonian and I went death by snoo snoo. Yes!
Yes.
And I think Xavier's head goes, and I think, to be honest, Xavier's head goes the same way.
If you say that, even whispering back,
I just go.
There's...
This is definitely curious and disturbing.
That's why there's only 3 of them left.
There seems to be a lot of drama that happened on the Black Rose. I keep hearing that ship a lot.
You keep finding people connected to it. In fact, me, Olivia, Marcy, Sarah, and Mr. Sandian were all on the Black Rose with Mags way back in the day.
So, we're probably going to have a talk over dinner. That's okay?
Certainly. Being my guests, of course, you will dine with me in the captain's quarters.
Lovely.
I
Course.
appreciate.
Come on, you can do it.
Did I say it right?
We're going to need to get some flashcards, but close.
Damn it.
Xavier just goes.
I appreciate
Whither thou
it,
goest,
too.
I shall follow.
So as if you can guess, Reeve, this comment is not that brushed up yet.
Oh, I imagine. It took me
If you could speak Shanty as I go into Shanty, they talk more fluently this way.
Whither thou goest, I shall follow.
It took me about a month to understand Gizmo when I first met him, and then it took me about a year to get him to speak common.
Xavier rescued me, and Sylvan was the only language I knew.
Fascinating. Please,
Thank you.
and he leads you back up to his cabin, whereas Olivia just kind of waves in her ghostly
Bye,
form.
Olivia. It was nice meeting you and your counsel on your arm.
That's kind of how it works, but yeah. Lovely meeting you. Maybe we'll eventually get you over shaking my hand eventually. I don't plan on killing anyone.
Don't hold your breath. You need it.
As I leave, I just give a soft bow. As I leave, I give a soft bow. It was a pleasure.
And she just
I
bows her head.
love Reeves' naivety so much.
Mako does adjourn with you back to his quarters, and as he does, he sits down at the table, at a
sorry.
table, pulling up chairs for you guys. And Jasmine does bring in a very warm stew, and she kind of looks at Mako, and you hear some quick words in Gnomish back and forth, or excuse me, Halfling, back and forth, and he does reply, and she just kind of shrugs, nods, and then leaves. And
You know a lot of languages.
I have to. I have a very diverse crew.
How many
Get the
languages do
captain
you
thing.
know?
7?
That's
8?
a lot. Whoa, I can't count that high.
Full hand,
sure
Reeve.
you
Full
can.
hand and more.
I'm sure you can.
This many.
Double.
That many.
One more.
One more.
That many.
God
there
damn
you go.
it.
You got it.
Oh god, it's gonna take us 10 more sessions to get back to Port Sampo.
It just might.
Well, we're all currently traveling there right now. We're just having dinner.
That's true, and you are only one more day out.
The
The
fact
second we
that you're
do sit
answering
down-
2 out-of-game comments in-game.
Um,
Damn fucking right I do.
Can I make a history check on the Black Rose to see how many people died from sex on that ship?
I will assist.
sure.
I will assist.
I dream of
Who has the
sex
highest
and-
intelligence out of both of us?
Well, so you rolled a 17 for your base with advantage.
Can I roll a history check just for the
18.
fucks of it?
No, you would have no clue.
Aw.
I know your
It'd be
backstory,
funny.
Reeve. You would have no clue.
I know, but it'd be funny.
I might have heard it because of a smuggling shipment, just as a rumor.
So, Xavier, if you wanted to go ahead and roll a history check on your.
Oh no, I was just assisting him.
Okay.
Oh, so I get a bonus because double.
Yeah. I got shush.
Ooh.
Anyway, so what you know of the Black Rose, because you actually read the book. The book was called The Life of Captain Magnolia Rose, Queen of the Female Pirates.
I'm sorry,
Fucking
Magnolia?
Christ, I just
Max?
wrote Captain Rose of the Black Rose. Oh, fuck me. I guess I'm rewriting that.
I mean, like, we already knew that she was previously the captain.
And Emil, and Emil, it's
Did not.
her name is Rose. Her last name is Rose, so you're not wrong.
I know, but it said Captain Rose of the Black Rose, and now it's Magnolia Rose of the Black Rose.
Well, yeah, we sort of knew that when we hired the ship. It was
Well,
sort of
yeah,
So
but
I
still.
will say this: their first names are the same, and that is entirely coincidental.
You mean their last names?
No, Magnolia is
their
their
first
names.
Oh, okay.
Captain Mags is Captain Mags. Captain Rose is Captain Rose, but their first names are both Magnolia. Captain Mags's whole name is Magnolia Montresor.
I'm gonna fucking die. Magnolia Tresser.
Montresor.
I mean, it's your choice to write everything. You don't need to write everything.
Yes, I do.
But
Fuck.
But it's entirely coincidental that their first names are the same. Because in my defense, I wrote Captain Rose before I ever played Vodari. But
I do like the fact that the only person who we know their gender specifically from the crew of the Freedom's Hand is Gizmo.
Gizmo.
No, you know Marcy's.
She's Babushka.
She is a woman.
Babushka.
Marcy's
Then why
Babushka.
isn't it labeled?
Yes.
Oh, is it not? Oh, it might not
Marcy
be
isn't
labeled
even
in the
on there.
handout.
Marcy
She
isn't even
looks
labeled
way
on the
younger.
handout.
Oh.
Then I thought.
Hey,
wait after
Mako's
for
the
the
same as
Russian.
me. Hey.
Actually, no, it's not labeled on there at all. As it's only labeled as Darth Babushka. But
It's Dr. Marcy Silver. But
I've
anyway,
never seen other Russian, but whatever.
PhD.
so Sel, You know that the Black Rose is entirely by women. Crewed entirely by women, with 2 exceptions that you knew of. Although in the later chapters of Captain Rose's biography,
Biography.
you do remember mention of it was actually quite dramatic. There was a young boy of privilege that they found aboard a life raft out in the middle of the ocean, nowhere in sight, no land in sight. And he actually snuck aboard a ship that they were attacking in the middle of the night. During the fight, he got knocked unconscious and was brought aboard the Black Rose. He then stayed for a brief time. It actually details something about a month, maybe 2. And then he's kidnapped by these lords, and you barely remember their names because they're not important, and their houses all died and are gone, no more. So the boy on the raft was kidnapped by the Black Rose, or rather by these nobles, and tried to be forced to marry Captain Rose's daughter. In some
That's Silver.
No.
Do I know the boy's name?
You only ever saw him referred to as William. William, oh, I gotta check really old notes.
Oh boy.
Oh, God.
I'm so sorry, Blaze.
I don't mind.
Please don't say Turner.
No.
William Turner. Who's that?
Character.
No, he's not William Turner. He's William Turnup.
Damn.
William Turnt.
William turned up. Let's see. William. Where is it?
William Silver?
No.
No. Silver. The Silvers are a family that's probably here in the ship, except Mr. Silver. We don't know.
Daughter of Marcy No, John Silver. Yes. No.
John Silver is probably Mr. Silver. Yeah.
John Silver. Yes.
And was
We
the
don't know-
race of that boy supposed to be human? Or
No, the race is actually never specifically mentioned in the book.
is it a right jump to say that would be this guy?
It's very possible. What you do know, though, is that it was the woman he was supposed to marry was Claire Valder. However, Captain Rogues found out about the ceremony, broke in, and killed the Lord who kidnapped William, who is rumored to be William's own father. There's no actual proof, but in the story it is. Killed her husband, who apparently was Mr. Valder. So Captain Rose's actual name is last name is Valder instead of Rose, but apparently she changed it.
Sounds like my backstory. Wait a minute.
And you do know that the boy in the Lord's name is Albion.
Albion.
William Albion was the boy's name. However, this is the part of the story that gets a little weird.
I am crying.
Rose thought, and it was certainly written, that she thought William purposely set her up to try and get her back to port with the threat of this wedding so that she could be captured and executed for piracy and treason and murder and various other things. So
As
when
one does.
she escaped with him, she immediately slammed him in a brig, no question, no even interrogating him, locked him in a brig for about 2 months with no light, barely any food, and then
Damn.
William and the disgraced navigator at the time, Miss Olivia, who unfortunately died due to the negligence and the harsh treatment that she was given on the Black Rose. William and Olivia left together and created their own crew. And that was the last thing that Sandian wrote about them. And then he wrote that once Rose did that, she was completely unstable. And she was no longer the honorable woman that he had agreed to write the backstory of, and that she had started to lose her mind. She was listening too much to this woman called the Beast, and was tanking as a captain. Putting all of those context clues together and putting all of that history together, you realize that Mako is William. And that
Right.
Olivia, the reason she's a cursed soul is because she died at Captain Rose's hands. And cursed souls are only still around because they have a curse and an undesirable, unfulfilled desire. In Olivia's case, you're pretty sure it's revenge.
I don't know about you, but I just want y'all to see to here's nice organized notes, and then it just goes more into more chaos as I continue.
Yeah.
But
before a second, what's her face? The halfling leaves. I go, did anyone die from death by snoo on that ship? I have to know. It clearly isn't written, but
Mako shakes his head. I never knew anyone to die, though I came close a time or two. The Beast is ghastly.
A beast?
And how did you have so much sex consistently, given the small amount of time that you showed up on the ship?
Do you care?
Because when you're dragged by a woman into a closet
Personal.
at any time of day, does it matter?
How old are you?
Oh, well, you're right.
How old are you?
Captain
14.
Mako?
Yes.
I cannot tell. That never happened to me.
Wait, you're 14?
I was 14 when all this happened. That
Oh,
was a
you
little
were.
over 10 years ago.
Oh,
It was 10 years ago, he would have been 4, and he wouldn't have been able to have the peen go whoop, because it'd be impossible. But damn.
all right.
That's
Captain
totally
Mako.
Like, ooh.
How long have you been captain? I'm curious.
With the Freedom's Hand? 16 years?
All right.
Not quite.
I'm curious.
More like 13 years.
No, I'm curious.
I have an answer.
Black Rose is a famous ship. Yeah.
Indeed it is. Still is.
And I'm curious because I am a bit of a bookworm becoming right now. A bit of a chronicler.
I'm a book listener.
And do you know about any other famous ships that might not be around anymore that might have a legend about them? Well, I want to know.
You could have asked me.
I mean, there's the Flying Dutchman, but that's pretty famous, and no one's actually quite sure if that's still around or not. The other one I know about is called the Destiny's Hand. It's an old ship way up north somewhere. At least that's where the records of it disappear. Apparently, it was captained by the last gentleman of the sea. Whatever that means.
Do I need to write this down?
I don't know. Do you?
Don't.
He says, I don't know, do you? I gotta fuck the Destiny's Hand, last man on earth to fuck me. And he asks,
Last man on earth
fuck me softly with a chainsaw.
All right. Thank you, Captain.
There is.
You do know if you were asking any questions about like
What's from
famous
Heather's?
ships, you could have asked
There
me.
is
I'm
another
like,
one that I've heard about. It's a submersible. It's called the Nautilus. It got too close to Vessi's Rage, or so the legends go, and it was attacked by a kraken.
Oh, bloody hell.
It said it'd be at the bottom of the sea still.
Indeed.
Hey, you, Sal, do you know
So
any
full.
more?
Can I think of any more off the top of my head that you might not have noticed?
You know of one ship specifically. It's called the Silver Wind.
All right.
You know that it crashed. You're not sure if it crashed or if it was sabotaged. You know it sank with all but one hand on deck. No time. And you know that one hand washed up somewhere else and was not who he used to be and was something entirely new.
I do make mention of that ship. And I let him know.
Have I ever heard about it?
Roll roll a history check.
Oh man, I could go on for hours about ships.
Where did we go? What did we do?
Natural
I
20.
think we made someone
Yes, you have
entirely
heard of the Silver
new.
Wind because
I'm gonna.
it was actually supposed to be smuggling a lot of really expensive cargo from House Tea Leaf to someone else. You were actually supposed to, you and a couple others were actually supposed to pick up the smuggled goods from that particular ship, but it never made it into harbor because something happened out at sea.
Oh,
No one knows what happened other than the ship is gone. Rumors are it was sunk. Some rumors are it was captured and then sunk. Some rumors are it straight out exploded. And then if you want to believe the really fantastical, a white whale came and just crashed into it and took it with it.
Moby Dick.
So he said that the Silver Wind disappeared, one hand survived, and washed up somewhere else. As Mr. Dia, may I inquire to make a wisdom saving throw?
Sure. A wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
For PTSD concerning backstory.
Oh yeah.
What? Reeve know a little bit because wouldn't he have been with Xavier, or would this be before Xavier was met?
This was ye young Xavier.
Yeah, I was gonna say this
baby
would be
Xavier.
this would be some years before he met you.
This would be
would've been
10-year-old
a-
Xavier. This would be 10-year-old Xavier.
Looking ass
Baby.
Xavier.
Baby Xavier.
14.
I still have him drawn fairly young, even though, like, how old's Xavier again? In his 40s?
40. 45.
Yeah,
Something like that, yeah.
45.
He's an old man. He's old enough to be Cell's dad.
Xavier met Reeve when he was 35, and so far it's been 10 years. That's all I have right now.
Yep.
They've been together for 10 years. Hence why Reeve is 28, but he acts like he's fucking 10.
Anyway.
Sorry.
Yeah, you know, did you fail or succeed that save?
With a 14, I'd say I say just failed.
Okay.
I'd like set a mid DC of 15.
Okay.
For just some information popping into his head and him not knowing anything about it. It's still there, but he doesn't know when or where it happened.
Yeah. As that happens and as the meal continues on, you do indeed. Mako actually does come out and say that he used to belong to a life of privilege. He did use that life to get in good in Zeleny. Basically took his father for all his money since he died, and nobody could stop him.
Yeah.
And took all of his father's money, liquidated it all, and sold it, and liquidated everything, and bought a ship with it. And then financed Gizmo's workshop. And Gizmo's actually part of a guild of tinkerers and inventors who are looking to better make ships. They're making both submersibles. They're making amphibious vehicles. They're also trying to make ships that can fly great distances. Unfortunately, you also find out that the maximum fly time that Mako gets every day, if he actually uses it within parameters, is about 3 hours.
Right.
So you, for people who actually do notice, Cell does say under his breath, "Man, if only some would be so lucky." The second he mentioned his father dying.
Xavier's actually got a high
I'm
passive.
writing so intensely. I can't. I'm crying.
And that's kind of how it concludes. When it is time to retire, you guys are given bunks in the general bunkhouse, and it is, no one bothers you. His crew is mostly human and dwarf. Every once in a while, a smattering of a sea elf or, even a triton. You see one. And there's only one other person that you haven't met, and she is. You only see her because she actually has never come down. You've actually never gotten to face to face with her. You see her up in the crow's nest, and she is a Vodas.
What the fuck is a Vodas?
It's one of the custom races that came in.
I saw that. That's what Reeve was about to be, but then I chose a Zyron.
Right. And so, you see that she's kind of stayed up there, and she's never come down. And as you know, you guys take notice of her, Mako will tell you, oh, that's Sylvie. She stays up there. I don't even think she comes down for meals or anything, really. In fact, I'm 100% sure she never comes down from there unless it's to report something to me. And then she comes to me and immediately heads back up there.
Yeah. But by the way, you two go ahead. Captain.
Before everyone
may I-
officially does retire, I do go back to the captain's quarters.
Okay. Mako and Xavier move to the forecastle. Because that's where you would have been able to get a glimpse of Sylvie. And he just kind of looks at you. Yes, Xavier?
Captain, since we were talking about the famous ships and all, I'm sorry, I just got this name that came up to my head. I don't know where I heard it from, when I heard it. The Tel Equa? You ever heard of it?
Tel Equa?
I think so, yeah.
Can't say I have, though you might ask Sandian. He's a bit more of a story man than I. I tend to keep to my business.
Right. Well, guess I'll have to wait until we get back to talk to him. But
thank you, Captain.
You're more than welcome. And as he returns
good night.
Good night. As he returns to his cabin, he sees that you're there, so... Yes, can I help you?
I did want to talk about how you handle your crew.
Hmm? What about it? You're worried about the snake, yeah?
Yeah. I'm trying not to resort to anything violent, but I can't exactly figure out a way to...
Look, there's two things. Two ways to be a good captain. One, make calls that keep people in money, grog, women, and ocean.
That's not hard.
It's harder than you think. There's plenty of captains out there who don't make those decisions every day. But the reason they're safe is because they do what a lot of merchantmen do, which is, fire people. We don't get that in our line of work. In fact, if I wanted to fire anyone, I have a pistol and a plank. And they're welcome to take the pistol or to swim. I don't do this abandoning people on an island with a single shot bullshit. I don't need the enemy. I got enough of them. As for your particular dilemma, seems to me that you have a paladin, and if he's one of them lawful good paladins, you need to show him that you're willing to work with the law and your actions are more good than bad. And that's pretty easy. Don't be a dickhead. Don't be Taggart. And certainly don't be the Beast.
What's this Beast?
Now, my suggestion is to go get you a license of privateering. Pick one of these shithole countries. And believe me, they're all shithole countries. I wish there was a utopia where there was one good one, but there isn't. This world doesn't work like that.
I don't know if I want to be tied to anything again.
No, quick aside. Wouldn't that be ironic if we picked Vodari?
Anyway.
That's a solid note.
Look. A license to privateer just means that if you happen to take a ship that's that country's enemy, you can actually go sell that ship to that country and actually make a profit on it. And you could go back to that country and they won't hang you for piracy. That's what that means. The reason I don't take prizes is because I don't stay at port too long. I actually have a merchant guild's license. I actually can ferry cargo here and there, and I do a lot of that. In fact, most of my income is that. Very rarely do I have to resort to piracy, and when I do, it's only to get more trade goods. And again, fixing the books, that's easy. Numbers are fickle things, but they're honest, and they always line up if you know how to make them dance. Thankfully, Tina and Olivia are very good at that. I'm not. Another thing is you have to remind your crew that while you're the captain and all of the pressure falls on you, that without them doing their job, you couldn't do yours. Now, it may be that that's not good enough for the paladin, and maybe you will have to settle this in a duel. I don't know. I don't know him well enough to make a guess. But I do know this. If you exhaust the diplomatic and all that's left is your fists and your magic, then that's what you got to use. I've had more shootouts with anyone on this deck and anyone on this ship than I care to admit. Hell, I'm missing several sailors right now because they wanted to get uppity. In fact, we just lost one 2 days ago. I threw him off the fucking bow.
Dumbass.
What?
He didn't get a choice. I knew he couldn't swim, so I threw him off.
Makes sense.
Now look, that's me. That's how I run this thing. However, for you, simple. Make a profit. For a paladin who's really lawful or really goody two-shoes, make sure your actions are law-abiding, whatever law that happens to be. Whether it's his personal code, whether it's the law of the land, however. Paladins are iffy about that. And many of the lawful paladins just have their own personal code of honor, and so long as you stick to that, they don't have a problem with you. If he's a goody two-shoes paladin, well then, make sure you do goody two-shoes things. Like, if you have to take a ship, which you don't always have to, don't go, give them a chance to surrender. And then when you do, don't steal all their food that they need to get to port. Just take the riches and the goods and the shit they don't need to eat. That's what I do. That's why I have Sandy in. What do you think he's doing while I'm cleaning the ship out of everything it's got? He's entertaining them. He's singing them songs. He's telling them stories, reciting ancient poems, whatever. He's keeping them entertained and out of our hair. And he keeps anyone from doing something stupid. Mercy, she goes around and heals everybody. You should see her with actual, civilians. It's actually really sweet. She is definitely like your great-grandmother or something. But again, I leave those two to do the publicity while I'm doing the real business. Now, sometimes they take a ship and they don't want to surrender, and then it gets bloody. That is what it is. That's life. But I never torture people. I never kill surrendered opponents. And I don't kill children. Women are fair game. And as far as I'm concerned, so long as they want to be pirates, they can fight like a pirate. And that means they can die like one.
Equal rights.
Mako be equal rights, equal fights. Hell yeah!
Mako be systematically abused by women.
Yeah.
Pussy past denied.
Anyway. But,
that's a thing.
Again, I don't torture them, and I give them a fair death and a clean death. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're my enemy, because they're just doing a job protecting a ship, whatever. That is what it is. But if you're my enemy, forget it. I don't have rules of engagement for enemies. It's either me or them. And my enemies will die when I get the chance. And that's how this life is. So think very carefully about who you want at your back when you're getting to that life.
Right.
And remember, there's no half measures and no negotiating with a pirate. You can negotiate with a privateer. You can't negotiate with a pirate. Got it?
Yeah.
All right, then. Now, between you and I think maybe Emmy and Becca maybe had some good words for him and maybe he listened. But maybe he didn't. So maybe it will come down to a fight. You just be sure that you can at least kick his ass enough that he has no choice but to admit that maybe you can hold your own and maybe you can lead the crew.
They're talking about you, Vex.
And at the very least, And at the very least, if that fails, make sure you have a whole bunch of crew members who all like to follow you. Because one paladin, one member of a crew, is not going to make or break a crew. One as small as yours is, that might be a problem. And he's a competent navigator and a competent ship driver. I've been watching him most of the day. So he can at least steer the ship. And he's good at it.
Well, it's not just him. It's been other issues as well, I guess.
Well, look. The biggest thing is that whenever a new captain gets involved, the crew needs to know one thing. That captain has their interests in mind. So long as you're always fair to your crew, and so long as you always make sure that they get paid even if you don't, they'll respect you. Another thing is don't isolate yourself. I treated you guys to a captain's side dinner because that's normal for entertaining. But I normally eat in the mess hall with the boys and women. With the boys and girls. I normally
You
eat
have
in
more women than men on your ship.
Actually, no. He has more officers who are women than men, but most of his crew are men.
I think over all nearly all of this writing is women's names. I think I have two other men in that
most of his
standing in
officers
silver.
Most of
women.
the officers are women.
But most of his crew is men. And they all take orders from these women, so what does that tell you?
Equal rights.
No, that tells you to fuck them up. That's what it tells you. But just so long as you do that, eventually your crew will fall into line. You guys are on your way back from some big score or something?
Big-ish.
Bigger score than any of you have seen before, I take it?
Some of us, yeah.
Well, look, just make sure that they get paid, they get their share, and you get your share. But make sure that you count their shares first. Even if you
Xavier in his room going in through the fucking numbers.
Even if you don't get a bigger share this time because it's not a very big treasure, just make sure that you give everyone their share first. And start with the people who don't like you. If you start with those people, they might think, hey, this guy at least notices that I'm needing to be paid, and he at least pays me first. Maybe that helps. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But that's the advice I got for you, newbie. I'll show you some other tricks and trades tomorrow. But in the meantime, go get some sleep.
Will do. Thank you.
Vex. Rather Valor. As you're, now that you're not fighting, are you back at the wheel?
Have been, will be, and probably will be all night.
Alright.
Nice.
Sandian actually comes up and, just kind of looks at you. Seems to be taking down some more notes. And again, he kind of has been doing this the whole time he's been on here, this ship. And he just kind of looks at you. So, pretty good fight there. What was that thing you did to Emmy's armor? She was all sparkly and sparking. What was that?
It's a gift from my creed.
Ah, interesting. Oh, you're paladin. Oh, yeah. Okay. And, your creed, may I ask? Your sworn oath?
Discovery.
Ah. I met a couple like you. You guys are fun. You're always out for a good story and a good find. I like you. And he kind of writes something down. So, is that why you're on this ship? To, engage in discovery?
That is the sole purpose of it, yeah.
Well, I mean, hey. I've looked at your crew, and hey, you got a makings of a fine crew here. You got the very pretty one who can deal with everybody. Your captain's not bad to look at either. Man or woman, if that's your thing.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
seems to have at least a numbers head. Unlike my captain. My captain can barely count the number of bullets he has.
That's why the gunslingers on the numbers.
Yeah, well,
I guarantee that elf literally counts the bullets in his satchel every day.
you know, I
Every
think that's a
30 minutes.
gunslinger thing.
Every 30 minutes.
Wow, fucking White Hell roasted. But
The fact is, they're not even wrong.
yeah, no,
He's got an alarm.
but
Check bullets.
Must check
I
bullets.
think honestly that's a gunslinger thing because my captain counts his bullets too, and is like obsessive about it. But anyway, you know, you got to make some fine crew here. I'll bet you discover lots of fantastic things. I tell you what, and he actually reaches in and he pulls out like a card, and he hands it to you. When you're when you're retired, or when you're done adventuring, and you want to write your story, or have your story written, give me a call. I guarantee you, I'll write it.
Aww.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, we discoverers got to stick together, right?
Of course.
Aww.
Let's just hope that I stay alive long enough to give you that call.
You'll be fine. Your crew won't leave you to die, and your captain certainly doesn't look like the kind to leave anybody to die.
Depends on what's at stake.
Wow, that's a little harsh, but
Considering that they definitely haven't done anything similar outside of risk their life for everybody first.
but
yeah, you got
no,
it.
that was Sandy, and just wow, that's a little harsh. Is he really like that?
He literally had us push an ice block full of gold and jewels out of a collapsing cave.
That sounds like a great freaking story, and I bet there's more to it.
You'd have to talk to him. I got hit on the head pretty hard several times.
Well, that's part of the adventure, isn't it? Getting the gold, finding the lost treasures. That shit happens.
I might be oath of discovery, but I don't exactly like discovering my own limits.
Hey, at least you discovered them and lived. Some people discover them and die.
I was really close.
You gotta look at the glass as half full,
Yeah,
my
okay.
friend. Half full. You're alive. You got a killer story out of it. And hey, you got the world's best biographer to guaranteed write your story when it's time. I'm just
Aw.
saying. You're doing pretty well for yourself.
It's not for me. I don't do
Valor,
this for me.
you're so fucking negative.
Shut up, Emil.
Sorry.
I don't do this for me.
I don't do it for myself. I never have.
What do you do it for then?
My mom and dad.
Well, that's interesting.
I
Yeah.
grew up in poverty. Literally snuck on a military ship just to get away from the life. To give them a little bit more funding for their own living.
Well, here's the thing. You ever thought about sending money back home?
Every day.
Well, next time you're in port, and once you get paid from whatever job it is you're doing, you should do that and see if you get a letter back, or see how it's received. Because I guarantee you that if you keep doing this life and not go to military life, believe me, you don't want that. Well,
They've
not
never
true.
done that.
Yeah, you don't want true military life. But I was a ship's cook.
All my paychecks have been going to them. I don't care about the money. Never have.
Well, hey, look at the bright side. The more money you make, the better you can help your folks.
That's all I've ever done, really.
Well, there
In fact,
you go.
even my share from this take, it's probably going to them.
Well, see, there you go. If you stick with this crew and you get bigger and bigger shares, then your family gets bigger and bigger benefits. I know a guy who does this for his family. Hell, most of the women on the Black Rose have kids in various different ports and send money to them. Hell,
Yeah,
poor Mr. Silver, man, he doesn't make a damn thing. All his money goes to Marcy and her parents, and she's supposed to use it to take care of Sarah. But, that's how Silver wanted it.
That's not the life I wish to live.
Well, look, I tell you this, as someone who appreciates a good discovery, you never know when the next big discovery will be world-changing. And I always want to get in on that. Even if I'm just documenting the catalog of those who did it, I still want to be in on that. And I'll tell you this, it's a great disservice to your oath should you give up before the real discoveries have even been made?
These are some quotes.
I've been considering leaving. I haven't made a decision.
Well, look, for what it's worth, I think that if you left, that would be a shame. Because clearly you a man who likes to discover, who wants to discover and wants to do some good. And you can't do good sitting on the sidelines. You gotta have skin in the game, or you're not doing nothing.
Let's just hope that they don't plan on throwing my skin overboard. Seriously, that stuff is valuable.
I mean, hey, tell the cap that. He might make a profit off of it and might give you the lion's share of them profits. You never know.
I'm not giving him my skin. Fuck that.
Alright, sell it yourself. What do I care?
I'd sooner give my skin to the sire who would probably eat it.
Look, don't knock crispy
That's
steak until you've tried it.
true.
Yes, but I have a feeling that, like, the captain is a very strange sort of person. I don't know what they'll do with it.
I mean, hey, you could give him a little bit and find out.
I don't want to find out. That's the scary part.
Sounds to me like you a bit of a coward. And he just kind of walks off.
You try giving a crazy man your skin, see what they do with it.
I have! I was on her crew for 5 years! Got more sex than I knew what to do with.
Fuck you!
And one of them was from a woman so ugly she might as well have been a hobgoblin. No
Goddamn!
offense to good-looking hobgoblins.
Stop talking, scribe!
Everyone on the ship wakes up.
But
Sol wakes up at the start. Someone's
Niafta,
blaspheming my name. I can feel it.
you and Emmy have been in the room for some time. Emmy has actually fallen asleep due to your singing. She has enjoyed your company. But she's easily roused.
She's also in your bed, I'm assuming.
Well, there are 2 beds in that particular cabin.
I mean, great customer.
Yeah, she is.
She's gonna pay my debt.
But she just kind of is laying her head in your lap and just listening to you sing. And anything else you would like to do, or you know, before the night is over?
Yeah, you could always do Vex.
No, I am pretty exhausted.
Fair enough. Do you just fall asleep with Emmy's head in your lap?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just gonna, lift her head, put a couple pillows on it, just gonna, lay down next to her, maybe in the other bed.
Fair enough, either or. So she's perfectly content, doesn't wake at all. And you have made a easy 5 gold pieces. From her company, and you have drank some very fine wine. The wine she had in that wineskin was high quality.
Was
Ooh,
plus.
awesome. I'm gonna add that to my inventory because I'm not using that any soon.
You have half a wineskin of fancy wine.
Okay.
Night was bussin'.
All right.
My inventory is quite long.
Me actually doing a counting in the fucking page for divvying up treasure.
But with that, with the night going by, there's only one more day at sea, and you will actually be in port by the next evening.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm not excited to go into port, but you know what?
So by next evening, you guys will be in port. And tomorrow brings new adventures. With that, we are going to wrap it up because it is that time. We went a little over because I wanted some amazing in-character stuff. I think everybody got some fun in-character stuff, and for those who didn't get as much, I've been keeping track. I've got some things planned for you for the next time.
I gotta get a conversation with that book bearer.
Sandian, yeah. He always has that book on him. You've never, none of you have ever seen him put it down.
Me getting PTSD flashbacks.
You also have learned a lot about the Black Rose, a lot about the,
William.
Yep, a lot about William and a lot about the Freedom's Hand. And now
Yeah.
you
Who is the
know where
beast?
exactly to go. I guess you'll never find out. But
And
Oh,
so
bitch.
before we end, we have the 5 of us and 4 others on the ship, right?
uh
Permanent crew.
yes. Cade, Thok, and
Mags are not with us.
Cade, Thok, well, they're still on
Cade,
your ship,
Thok-
but they're not going to join you.
Right, as well as the Elven Archer chick.
Yeah,
And they and it's 5% for them, right?
5%.
So
we get a total of 5% of what they make. Yes.
well, so
Oh.
you're not actually paying them anything. They're
Oh, yeah.
the deal that Cell and Mag struck was that that you guys saving them and getting them back to port, and feeding them would square any debt.
Okay.
On top of the fact that they give us 5% of their shares.
Okay, I'll deal with this when the session ends.
Yep. But anyway, so with that, thank you all so much for watching. Again, I told in a later episode, in an earlier episode, but I will remind you again, this is a pirate campaign, so there are going to be some tough topics. If you're sensitive to that kind of thing, I make no apologies, but I do hope that you do what's best for your own mental health. Because a pirate's life is not for everyone. I will say that. It is for me, but it's not for everyone. But I have let you guys know a lot of story about a book I am writing, so maybe one day you'll see it published and think back to this, Twitch episode or this YouTube episode, wherever you happen to be watching this, although I think you'll watch it on YouTube before I, actually publish this damn book.
Blaze is a really good writer. This
appreciate it.
episode is brought to you by Blaze being a super good writer.
He
And
really is.
eggs.
And I've been reading your stuff, man.
But
Brought to you by eggs.
yes, definitely go support our friend the Bearded Bard and his amazing egg cartons, because honestly, I'm debating whether or not to get some for my kitchen. I know I'm getting the beard comb once money's not so tight. But anyway,
Eggs. When life is always sunny side up.
Yes.
Going to actually fight.
anyway, so
We're gonna have a mutiny in a bit.
let us simply say goodbye. And again, thank you all for watching. So I couldn't have done this without my fantastic crew and fantastic cast of characters. Mr. Valor Wakewalker, our Yuan T. Naga, played by Mr. Vex.
I'm not always this sad and depressing, I promise.
Bet.
I'm not always
Liar.
sad and depressing.
He's
Some
edgy.
naturally dark,
He's
brooding
edgy, but he's
nature.
not sad and depressing.
So much edgy that I'm bleeding half the time he's playing.
I
Wow.
promise I don't have long hair and constantly have to brush it out of my face.
Vex doesn't have long hair.
I know.
He
That's
works in machinery.
He
You
couldn't.
can't have
That would
long
be a
hair.
problem.
But if he could, he would.
No.
He got
I
his
don't
haircut
think
recently and it's so cute. And I flirted with him a whole bunch and he got so shy he turned off his camera.
Yes, it is.
Anyway,
That's why his camera's off, actually.
Anyway,
directly beneath me is our Captain Cell Bomba, played by Mr. Nicky.
I absolutely apologize for my exuberant puns, but they needed to be done.
I want to cause you physical harm.
So when I
we're-
do the puns, it's not okay, but when you do the puns, it's fine.
I don't do puns.
Mm-hmm.
No one doing puns is okay.
So you're saying we're gonna kill Cell and toss his body over the board? Okay.
No, we're not gonna kill Cell. We're gonna kill Nikki.
That is unacceptable.
Oh my god.
Moving right along is
You did it
Mr.
again.
Whitehill, who plays Xavier Verrill, our Drow Arcane Gunsmith.
G'day, mates. It was fun, and it was definitely interesting to be with this crew. oh, I'm still gonna be here, and I'm probably gonna be the cause of death. Most of them. Just
Good
because
luck.
of the stupid plans.
Many have tried. Only one succeeded.
Literally.
And then next we have Reeve, played by Mr. Emil. Reeve is our Siren Ranger.
Stormcloak Ranger.
Indeed.
I hope I did okay. I'm still learning my words, and I will be cool, epic,
Swell.
swell.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as many of you noted, this is an episode without Tessa Wildcat Silverfang, or Silvertail, excuse me. But
Saddest
unfortunately,
face.
the lovely Callie Cat cannot join us for this session any longer. But she will still continue in Tyranny of Dragons. So for those of you who enjoy seeing her in character and seeing her amazing antics, definitely go check out Tyranny of Dragons. It is every other Wednesday at this same bad time, at this same bad place. And
Sadly,
last,
Cell's
but
other half is missing.
and last but certainly not least is the lovely Laura playing our lovely Niafta, our College of Lore bard.
Yeah, and also growing to be a what's the name of I forgot the name. Why I lost the word.
Aficionado?
Yeah.
Rogue. Yeah, I'm late in the rogue arts from Tiny Sensei Kate.
Yep.
Tiny Sensei.
She is
Yeah.
going to learn some rogue arts from Tiny Sensei.
Yeah, and also remember, guys, that the only way to entertainments are not just music or lore; it's also bets,
Yep.
fighting bets.
Everybody likes a bard in bed.
Yeah. So
Like I'm
Here we
actually sure that's like written somewhere.
That is a
Probably.
law.
gotta be. I mean, they're pretty old. Gambling is pretty old, especially with fights and stuff.
Yeah, you know. But anyway, guys and gals, and I have been your Master of the Seas, Dr. John Wolfenstein, and it has been my absolute pleasure to join you guys for this amazing adventure in this amazing setting. I can't wait till you guys see what I've done with my homebrew section of this campaign. Do remember,
Isn't the homebrew section?
yep, you're now in homebrew territory, my friend.
I thought this all was.
We made it!
Nope. The
Yay.
first adventure was the book adventure. Now you're in
Yeah, I
homebrew
thought everything
territory.
after. Yeah, I thought all this is homebrew.
Mhm.
Aside from the first part, obviously, on the
But
island.
If Cell comes up to me and asks what I want from him as a captain, I'm going to slap my tenants down on his desk and just be like, follow that.
I mean, hey, that's
What?
something that could very well happen. You never know.
You're gonna slam your what in this desk?
Tenants.
I heard penises.
His hemipens.
What you
His
heard and
peni.
what was said are not always the same, Nikki.
Look, Nick, I
You will
don't care
find
how
out.
much you want to get into my pants, it ain't fucking happening.
You
Ever.
don't wear
have
pants.
You're a snake.
Case in
You
point!
Wow, they both
Of
just
course you can't get
fucking
in your
jumped
pants, you don't
on
have
you for
any.
that.
So,
But
So
anyway,
do you
guys
have
and
one or
gals,
two?
Not telling
There's
you.
bets placed. I have bet at least a copper on two.
quiet. Anyway, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time on the high seas. Till next time.